It's game 21 of the season here from Spillane Field as the Kettleers are set to do battle with the Wareham Gatemen for the third time this season. Hi, everybody, and welcome back into the Kettleers Radio Network. I'm Joe Pratt, joined as always by my broadcast partner, Alex Rocco, and we are set and ready to go as the Kettleers are ready to take on the number one team in the Cape Cod Baseball League at 14-5-1, and the Wareham Gatemen at the top of the West Division, currently with a three-game winning streak, Alex, and this is a team that offensively, pitching-wise, does a phenomenal job, and we've just seen so much of that continue into this month of July.
You make a great point, seeing that continue coming to the month of July, and through 6 games in July, they're 4-1-1. The bats have really come alive. You've seen games where they've scored 7, 8 runs a game, but also this is a pitching staff that is really talented. So the Kettleers, who have struggled in the month of July so far, lost in yesterday's contest, looking for a bounce-back win here against Wareham today. It's going to be a tough matchup.
Absolutely, and they'll be taking on the right-handed pitcher, Tate McGuire out of Arkansas. And how do the Kettleers line up against him today?
So it's 3 lefties at the top of the Cotuit order. Leading things off is the right fielder, Max Ballou. At first base is Matt Klein. Hitting third, the designated hitter, is Devin Taylor. Hitting cleanup and playing shortstop is Tyler Cerny. In fifth and in center field is Charles Davlon. Sixth and at third base, Nolan Naraki. Hitting seventh and in left field, Brandon Compton. Hitting eighth and catching is Grant J. And rounding out the order is Jaron Advinculo.
Max Ballou swings and misses at a first pitch strike down the heart of the plate from McGuire. And this game starts off at 0-1, 6:01 p.m. local time. Patch clouds above head here at Spillane Field as Ballou fans at another pitch and misses, and it's 0-2 on Tate McGuire, who's making his 4th start of the summer so far, currently fashioning a 1.38 ERA. In the top 5 on the CCBL so far this year, and McGuire will go into his windup once more. The righty deals. Max Ballou swings and misses at strike 3.
McGuire just making quick work of Max Ballou there. 3 pitches, and Ballou sent back to the dugout.
3 swinging strikes there for Tate McGuire. And he picks up his 16th strikeout of the summer. Now it's the lefty swinging Matt Klein, who fouls it straight back over the press box and out of play. Klein, playing at first base today, gets his first start there. After him in the on-deck circle, Devin Taylor. So the Wareham infield will play straight up with Nate Early at first, Johan Desero playing second, Antonio Jimenez at shortstop, and Tristan Gray, the hot corner, at third. He's playing far off the line for the lefty Klein, who fouls one straight back once more. So it's 5 swinging strikes so far in this ball game, drawn by Tate McGuire. Throws the fastball, slider, and changeup. And now with the black glove in front of his face, goes into the windup here as the 0-2 pitch skips in, and it's blocked by the catcher, Sam White. Wearing an all blue and yellow trim on the catcher's gear for White out of West Virginia. Keeps that one in front. And now this one is hit high down the left field line, twisting out of play towards the high school, and it bangs off of the all-brick high school that is right behind us on the first base line. Out of play, and Matt Klein will stay alive. As we are currently on the campus of Wareham High School, that directly behind us as we are sitting on top of the Wareham dugout right now. The 1-2. Klein swings and misses at a high pitch and comes up empty for back-to-back strikeouts. Tate McGuire starts off this game 2 up, 2 down with 2 swinging Ks.
That's exactly how you want to start out today if you're Tate McGuire. And on that last strikeout of Matt Klein, really done a nice job pounding him low in the zone. Gave him an 0-2 breaking ball low in the dirt that Klein laid off, but just elevates, and Klein just waves right through that high fastball.
So here's Devin Taylor. 3 straight lefties to start off this order for the Kettleers. Tyler Cerny, a right-hander, will bat behind him. So Cerny takes inside for ball 1. Cerny, a wide batting stance from the left side of the box, and the 1-0 pitch is dotted on the bottom part of the zone and called a strike 1. So McGuire, through 13 innings so far this season, has allowed 2 earned runs. Taylor watches one go low and inside, and a good take there as it's now 2-1 on him. His last time out against Bourne allowed his first 2 earned runs of the summer, pitching over 9 scoreless frames. And now Taylor gets one in off of his hands and swats that one foul. So 2-1 the count on Devin Taylor, who had another pinch hit appearance in last night's game. He struck out swinging. in the 6th inning. Now the 2-1. And he flares it straight back once more. And McGuire before that really untouchable. A high strike thrower, and now he's done more of that to start off this game. 21, but Devin Taylor takes beneath the knees and the count's full to the left-handed swinging outfielder out of Indiana, but he'll be playing in the DH spot today. And now the 3-2. McGuire releases that one laced over the head of the second baseman and into right field for a base hit. So Devin Taylor wins the 3-2 battle there and knocks a 2-out single. First hit of the game for the Kettleers, and Tyler Cerny will have his first looks on McGuire.
Great piece of hitting by Devin Taylor there. Worked the count full. Fouled off a couple of tough pitches from Tate McGuire and got a pitch right on the inner part of the zone and didn't try to do too much with it, flaring it into right field.
So now here's Tyler Cerny. First righty-on-righty matchup for Tate McGuire. And he is way out in front of that first pitch slider as it falls low and outside from the righty. He fans and misses, and it's 0-1. So another first pitch strike here for Tate McGuire. Of course, as mentioned, an incredible strike thrower so far this season for the Gatemen, and that's exactly what he did this past year at Arkansas. Of course, a small sample size for him there, as that one is just outside, and Cerny takes 1-1. Very small sample size for McGuire, appearing in just 2 games for the Razorbacks, a 5.40 ERA. He allowed 1 earned and just over 1 inning pitched. Now check back at first, and Devin Taylor's back in safely, fooling a couple of the Gatemen at the base of the dugout where we are sitting just on top of in the shark cage here at Spillane Field. Taylor a big lead at first. The 1-1. Cerny takes up high, chin music as it goes back to the backstop, and Devin Taylor will head to second. First wild pitch of the season thrown by Tate McGuire, and the Kettleers have their first man in scoring position with 2 gone.
This is the first at bat we've seen Tate McGuire fall behind a hitter here, as just lost control of the 1-1 pitch, nearly running too far in tight against Cerny, but this is a big spot now with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs.
Cerny with a wide stance on the right side. McGuire taking a look back at second. Now he throws. The pitch is dotted in the inner half, and it's 2-2. Taylor just watches that one go by. Excuse me, that's Cerny at the plate. And the 2-2 count to him, trying to bat home his teammate from Indiana, Devin Taylor, who takes his lead on second. 2-2, 2 gone in the first. The pitch. And Cerny fans and misses at strike 3. It's a slider low and outside that McGuire picks up his 3rd swinging K of the top of the first inning on. So the Kettleers put a man in scoring position. They leave him stranded there. And Wareham will have their first looks on Isaac Lyon when we return here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
...1995 champions by welcoming the championship-winning team back to Lowell Park. A blast from the past. Several of the players will take batting practice before a pregame ceremony honoring the team, followed by a group first pitch. The Kettleers will take on Chatham, the team Cotuit beat in 1995 for his 13th CCBL title. Join us in welcoming Kettleers history Saturday, July 13th at Lowell Park.
Kettleers baseball clinics are well underway in the summer of 2024, offering boys and girls ages 6 through 17 with the opportunity to learn from some of the most experienced coaches and some of the top college baseball players in the country. With no prior baseball experience necessary, the camps teach kids the fundamentals of baseball, as well as good citizenship, sportsmanship, and character. With just a few weeks of camp left, time is running out. So to sign up, head over to info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. Again, that's info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. We hope to see you there. Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. They offer breakfast and lunch, as well as indoor and outdoor dining. Check out Cape Cod Coffee at one of their 3 locations, on Route 130, at Mashpee Commons, and at Wareham Commons, or on their website at capecodcoffee.com. Isaac Lyon hits the bump for the first time as a starter in a Kettleers uniform this summer. He will be facing this Wareham Gatemen lineup. How do Ryan Smythe's Gatemen line up today against the righty, Alex?
Leading things off is the catcher, Sam White. Batting behind him, the designated hitter, Bobby Bozer. In the 3 spot, the third baseman, Tristan Gray. Hitting cleanup and getting the nod in right field is Reese Chapman. Hitting 5th and in center field, Jace Reinhardt. Batting 6th and at shortstop is Antonio Jimenez. Hitting 7th and at first base is Nate Early. In left field and hitting 8th is Colby Turner. And rounding out this Wareham lineup is the second baseman, Johan Desero.
So here's Sam White out of West Virginia, left-handed hitter. First pitch from Isaac Lyon is a fastball, a little bit too far outside, and taken for a ball 1. So Lyon, just like McGuire for Wareham, fastball, slider, and changeup. Corner infielder Nolan Araki at third, playing up on the grass as that pitch is down low, gloved by the catcher Grant Jay, and it's a 2-0 count here to start off Sam White. Great night at the plate in last night's game. Hit a grand slam in the 3rd inning against Chatham, and now he takes down low once more. Sam White reaching in 4 straight plate appearances in their 8-2 win over the Anglers last night. 2 for 2, a pair of walks, 5 driven in. Now the 3-0 pitch. Lyon gets over the top with the fastball, and it's 3-1. Infield, outfield playing straight up, and now the next pitch is just inside. That's what Sam White thought, but called a strike 2. So White will have to dig back in with the count full here. Isaac Lyon trying to get his first out of this bottom of the 1st. The 3-2. Rolled on the ground towards first, blocked by Klein. He plays it in front of him, and underhand flips to Lyon, who's covering the bag there for an easy out, number 1. So our first looks at Klein at first base. He's immediately tested.
Funny how the game of baseball works out. Matt Klein making his first start over at first base, used as the Kettleers' primary catcher, but getting the nod at first base today, and a hard ground ball hit off the bat of White. Klein bobbled it momentarily, but made the easy flip over to Lyon for the first out.
So Naraki plays at third. He is playing up on the grass just in front of us, as we are almost looking straight up past the third base line to second towards the flagpole that's whipping towards straightaway center field. That's just over the right field fence. There's a scoreboard just to the left of that, and then an all yellow football uprights in straightaway center field, as that one is taken for a strike 1 on Bobby Bozer, and now the count is 1-1 to him. Of course, this field being used as a football field during the baseball offseason. And now the 1-1. Lyon throws. It misses low and outside. Backhand glove by Grant Jay, who's behind the dish once more. He gets the start today as Matt Klein plays at first. Jaron Advincula once again is at second. Tyler Cerny gets the start at deep shortstop. Max Ballou plays in right field. Charles Davalon in straightaway center. And Brandon Compton in left. 2-1 pitch is fanned at and missed by Bozer. Count 2-2 to the right-handed swinging middle infielder out of the University of South Florida, but recently hitting the transfer portal. Has yet to find his destination. Wide batting stance in the back of the right-hand box, and Lyon comes set with the count 2-2. Here it comes. Breaking ball that he has to lunge out for and barely tip foul. Bozer stays alive, spoils it at 2-2.
This Wareham lineup taking a lot of pitches again to Isaac Lyon. Just 11 pitches so far through the first 2 batters as Lyon steps off.
Yep, trying to reset that pitch clock. And he will step back on the first base side of the rubber. Working primarily from the stretch, base is empty. Infielders are back. The 2-2 pitch. Bozer takes outside for ball 3. So back-to-back 3-2 counts here in the first inning for Isaac Lyon. First it was Sam White, and there's 1 gone in the bottom of the 1st. Lyon nods his head up and down 1 time, and the 3-2 pitch upcoming to Bozer. It finds the dirt, and he'll be heading to first. So Bobby Bozer continues his strong play. He reaches for the 5th straight game, and that'll bring up Tristan Gray with 1 gone.
Gray from Fresno State.
Just a disciplined at-bat there from Bozer. Fouled off tough pitches from Lyon, as got behind 2 strikes but worked back and didn't expand his zone. And those are the at-bats that Wareham's going to need if they want to pick up win number 15. Just long at-bats.
Lyon throws back to first. Bobby Bozer in there standing up. Bozer with 5 stolen bags on the season, improving upon that .474 on base percentage. Now Lyon's first pitch is low and outside to Tristan Gray. The right-handed swinger out of Fresno State takes a ball 1 low and outside. This is a Wareham team that has stolen 30 bases so far this season, and now the throw over to first nearly pulls Klein up the line, but he's able to haul it in. And a dangerous throw from Isaac Lyon. So Bozer takes a big lead at first. Lyon working from the stretch. Paying close attention just to the batter at hand. Doesn't take a look at first as the pitch is flared foul just over the Kettleers dugout and out of play. Kettleers dugout on that first base side. Wareham dugout on the third base side. Home grandstands just to our left. Visiting grandstands to the right of the press box and just above the Kettleers dugout as that pitch is down the heart of the plate and called to strike 2 to Gray. So now ahead in the count is Isaac Lyon, the first time he's been able to do that in his third batter faced. He comes set. 1-2. Reaches out over the plate, flares it towards second base. Advincula back, he makes the catch, throws to first. It's not in time. But a weak contact second out worked there by Isaac Lyon, and there are 2 gone.
Gray got that off the end of his bat, just flared it out into the short grass out in the outfield. Advincula backing up makes the easy grab for the second out.
Advincula with another start at second base has just played a phenomenal infield to this point. And making that play look easy as Lyon comes set, ready to face Reese Chapman. Take a look back at first. Chapman, left-handed swinger out of Tennessee, starting over 30 games for the Volunteers this past season. And now time called by the home plate umpire. Klein holds the runner on at first. Bozer still there. Lyon ready with the first pitch. Here it comes, and a big swing and miss to get Chapman down 0-1. Isaac Lyon in his 4th appearance with the Kets so far this summer. All 3 of his first appearances in relief, a 3.86 ERA to this point. Now the 0-1. Bozer takes off the swing, and it's popped up just down the left field line. Giving chase is Naraki, and it'll fall at the feet of Brandon Compton. Just about a foot to the left of the chalk, so in foul territory. Reese Chapman stays alive at 0-2.
Both Compton and Naraki had to run a long way, especially Naraki over there at third base for that foul ball, but it just dunks in front of the left fielder, Brandon Compton.
Yeah, Jay. Come back. Now that in the center fielder, number 20, Jace Reinhardt.
And it looks like the Kettleers are going to go ahead and intentionally walk Reese Chapman here to put runners on first and second with 2 gone to Jace Reinhardt. Right-handed hitter playing center field today. Swats that one foul straight back just over the netting and right at some of the Kettleers interns who sit at the top of that Wareham grandstand. Just above the Kettleers on deck circle on the first base side. Nearly had a souvenir. So now Lyon comes set with the glove just above his belt. The pitch, it's a fastball on the outer edge and called to strike 2. So a really nice job here, even despite giving up the extra base runner by Lyon to get ahead of these hitters.
So it was a catcher's interference call on Grant J.
0-2. Misses everything back to the backstop, and both runners will move up to second and third. Bozer moves up 90 feet, as does Reese Chapman, and they'll be on second and third for Jace Reinhardt with a 1-2 count.
Lyon's done a good job working in and out of trouble. Gave up the 1-out walk to Bozer, but came back, got the pop-up here. But now there's a tough spot with 2 runners on base. Yes, you have the batter down 2 strikes, but need to close out this inning.
He comes set once more. Infield playing back as the runners are on second and third. That one blocked by Grant J. Bozer taking off towards home. The play is not going to be made out of the reach of Isaac Lyon. Now it gets away from him and he flips it home and another run comes in to score. So it was a ball that was blocked by Grant J. Goes up the first base line. His flip to Isaac Lyon was behind him. So Naraki trying to back up those two, but nobody was covering home plate for the second run to come in and score. And the Gatemen will take a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first.
Just two pitches that really got away from Isaac Lyon out on the bump as Jade tried to do his best to keep that ball in front of him.
And now he gets the final swing and miss here on Jace Reinhardt to end the bottom of the first inning. Picks up that first strikeout, but not before, allowing 2 earned runs on a pair of wild pitches. And the Kettleers will be playing from behind from Spillane Field as we go to the top of the second here on the Kettleers Radio Network. Be a part of historic Lowell Park and support the Cotuit Kettleers by purchasing a paver engraved with your personal message to be placed in the new Walk of Champions. For more information, visit the Cotuit Kettleers website. Looking to connect with the right business? ZoomInfo's got you covered. With a database of over 100 million company profiles, they provide top-notch data to boost sales and marketing growth. Since 2007, ZoomInfo's B2B data quality has ensured that businesses have the best intelligence right at your fingertips. Discover more at zoominfo.com and see how you can get connected today.
Each week, the Cape Cod Baseball League is honoring those who served with Red Shirt Fridays. Every home team on Fridays wear red Cape League uniforms and an Army camouflaged hat. For every Friday game at Lowell Park, the Kettleers are honoring a hero of the game presented by the Massachusetts State Lottery. For exclusive Red Shirt Friday gear like fitted player hats, head to the Kettleers store at the ballpark. We hope you can join us for a Red Shirt Friday at Lowell Park this season.
The Cape Cod League All-Star Game is just a few weeks away. Cheer on your favorite Kettleers as they square off with some of the best players on the Cape. This year's game will be played in Falmouth on July 27th. The gates open up at 1:30 p.m. ahead of the 6 o'clock first pitch. All-Star Game tickets can be found at www.capecodleague.com/All-Star Game. Or you can find out more information about the tickets at the Kettleers.
So we welcome you back in for the top of the second inning. Joe Pratt, Alex Rocco are with you. Cam Christie on the controls, and the Kettleers will bring their middle of the lineup to face Tate McGuire in this top of the second. It'll be Charles Davalon, Nolan Naraki, and Brandon Compton at 5, 6, and 7. Starting off with Davalon, a lefty, and the first pitch as the right-handed thrower Tate McGuire wasting no time throwing over the PA. And dialing in a first pitch strike. Now the 0-1, working quickly once more, and Davalon is now behind 0-2. Takes a big cut at that low and outside fastball. And now he's 1 strike away from his 4th strikeout as McGuire goes into the windup, the pitch. And that one plunks Charles Davalon off the right shoulder. And he will be heading to first. With the hit by pitch, Tate McGuire out of Arkansas. Charles Davalon making the transfer from Florida Gulf Coast to Arkansas this upcoming season. So McGuire going after his future teammate right there, and the Kettleers will start off this second inning with a base runner.
The first 2 strikes in that bat from McGuire, 2 pitches on the inside part of the plate to the lefty Davalon, but pitch number 3 just ran too far and tight as Davalon gets plunked.
Short lead at first. Now he extends it. Naraki takes upstairs for ball 1. So do you think maybe some of that rhythm that McGuire was working with to start off the inning maybe worked against him there?
I think it was just a pitch that got away from him. He did a really nice job, got 2 strikeouts back-to-back of Ballou and Klein. And then, of course, gave out the 2-out single to Devin Taylor and came back with a strikeout of Tyler Cerny. I think it's just a fastball that just ran too far and tight and just got away from him.
Yeah, it was Devin Taylor to reach on the single, and now Naraki takes up and in once more. Davalon takes off for second. The throw down there, it is not in time. Ball pops out of the glove of Antonio Jimenez at shortstop. As it originally popped out of the glove of Sam White, he had to regather to his left, and the Kettleers will have a runner in scoring position with nobody out.
Davalon was hesitant when that ball got away from the catcher, Sam White. Went back to the bag for a moment and then decided to take off, and that was held on to by Antonio Jimenez. He would have been out.
2-0. Naraki takes up high again above the letters. And 3-0 the count to him. Cotuit wearing their road maroon jerseys with the navy blue lettering, navy blue number on the front left of that. And of course the all white and maroon pinstripe pants. Wide batting stance for Nolan Naraki, who waves the all-black bat above his right shoulder. And now he takes way inside for ball 4. Davallon will move up to third as that one again got away from Sam White back to the backstop. And so now the Kettleers will put runners on the corners with nobody out. So more command issues here for Tate McGuire despite allowing one hit.
This is the response that you need if you're Cotuit after giving up 2 runs on a wild pitch themselves. Of course, a couple of balls that were thrown away by Grant Jay, but come back, Davallon gets hit by a pitch and taking advantage of the pitches that get away from Tate McGuire.
And so now Ryan Smythe will go out and talk with this entire Wareham infield, just trying to calm McGuire down, who started off this inning really well. An 0-2 count on Charles Davallon, but since that pitch ran up and in on him and hit him, hasn't looked like the same guy. Of course, it's only been about 6 or 7 pitches since then, but clearly something happened there and he got in his own head.
It's been 5 consecutive balls that have got away from Tate McGuire after Naraki worked the 4-pitch walk, but this is a smart move. Just come out to the mound, settle down your young pitcher, because Brandon Compton's stepping in. You have runners on the corners, still no outs, and Compton's a guy who has been really swinging a hot bat as of late.
And Compton getting another start in left field. Yesterday being his only start so far this season where he hasn't found a way to reach first base. He's been able to get on by way of an error, fielder's choice in each of his first 15 games played, but now that streak has ended and he takes up and away ball 1 here from Tate McGuire. So missing up in the zone again is McGuire. That one way above the box, and 1-0 the count to Compton. Left-handed hitter from the left side of the batter's box. He awaits the 1-0 pitch, and it's outside in the righty box. 2-0 to Compton. So Compton with just 1 at-bat at this ballpark earlier on this season. It came in Game 3, a pinch hit opportunity where he hit for Jaron Advincula in an 0-1 count. 2-0 pitch, takes beneath his knees. 3-0. But Compton striking out in that plate appearance, and the Kettleers stranding the would-be tying and go-ahead run in scoring position as the 3-0 pitch to him. Right down the middle with the fastball goes McGuire, and it's 3-1. Kettleers losing that game 4-3 here at Spillane Field, and then getting back against the Gatemen later on in June 29th, where they won again 4-2 as Brandon Compton takes low and outside, and that's ball 4. So 3 straight base runners will highlight this top of the second inning for the Kettleers, but of course nothing doing if they're unable to bring these guys home.
Tate McGuire has really struggled with his command so far in inning number 2. The last 10 pitches he's thrown, 9 have been balls. As now the bases are loaded here with Grant Jay, who had been hitting at the top of this Cotuit order and now finds himself hitting 8th.
Yeah, played 3 games as the leadoff man. Now his batting average beneath 200 at 195, and the righty takes a fastball low and inside for a called strike 1. So the righty McGuire dialing that one in to the righty Grant Jay. He was unable to get out 2 lefties in this inning, being Davallon and Compton. They're on first and third, Naraki on second as that one's blocked by Sam White. He's able to keep it in front. It's going to be ball 1, but a nice play behind the plate by Sam White just to keep the runners exactly where they are. Of course, Davallon advancing to second and to third on a pair of wild pitches. Now the bases are juiced. The 1-1 pitch. Jay takes a big hack at that one and fouls it off the catcher's gear of White. And the count is 1-2. So Wareham with a grand slam of their own the other night against Chatham right here at Spillane Field. Now Grant Jay with an opportunity to do that. Kettleers just trying to get on the board though. Down 2-0, and the 1-2 pitch finds the dirt. Gloved up by Sam White, and it's 2-2 on Grant Jay. Jay, the leadoff man last night, was pinch hit for after going 0 for 2. Now gets another opportunity today, but he swings and misses at strike 3 at a pitch that was outside the zone. Well located by Tate McGuire, and he picks up his 4th strikeout, first one in this second inning.
McGuire attacking Jay on the outside part of the plate as Jay just waves through the fifth pitch of the at-bat, and McGuire, who had been working out of the stretch, of course, the bases loaded, goes back to out of the windup and will stay here with Jaron Advincula digging in.
And still from the windup, Advincula takes inside for a called ball 1. Advincula, of course, a difficult pill that he had to swallow the last time we were here, as that one is in off of his hands, flared down the left field line, giving chase to the left fielder who settles under it. Turner makes the grab, and Davallon will hold up at third, as that one just shallow enough down the left field line to hold Davallon where he was at, just 90 feet away, and still with the bases juiced, the Kettleers will have to dial in some 2-out hitting.
Advincula just didn't hit that ball deep enough into left field. Kobe Turner camped underneath it, delivered a really strong throw and a home. Davallon was sent. He would have been nailed by a mile.
Yeah, great throw there by Turner, who plays in left field. Jace Reinhardt in center, Reese Chapman in right. So still from the windup, here's the first pitch from McGuire. Gets another swing and miss on Max Ballou, who went down on strikes. 3 pitches he faced from McGuire last time. All swing and misses, and now the 4th one right there. So he's down 0-1 in the count, and the lefty awaits. Takes low and outside, and that's a called strike 2. So McGuire a chance to escape this inning after letting the first 3 base runners he faced on base, as that one is flared straight back. Hitting off of the fencing just in front of the press box here at Spillane Field. Max Ballou staying alive at 0-2, getting the start in the leadoff spot. First time he's been able to do that since leaving for Team USA. Infield and outfield straight up. The 0-2 pitch is low and inside. So the middle infielders will play back, as is the first baseman Early. Heels on the grass as Gray slightly up at third. As the next pitch, Ballou has to wait on it and swat it foul once more just behind the press box.
You can keep that.
It locates just beyond the Wareham on deck circle. That one a high spinning pop-up off the bat of Ballou, nearly clipping one of those wooden light poles surrounding home plate at Spillane Field. There's plenty of those surrounding this ballpark. None of them are on, though. Now the 0-2 once more. Ballou swings and misses at strike 3. McGuire, despite allowing the first 3 base runners on in this second inning, goes 3 up, 3 down from there. And the Kettleers will strand him juiced in the top of the second, still trailing 2-0 as we go to the home half of this frame on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990. Their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
Back for the bottom of the second inning, Kettleers trailing 2-0, and Isaac Lyon will pitch in his second full inning against the Gatemen. Starting off with Antonio Jimenez from the stretch, his black glove just above his belt, and the pitch. Low and outside to the right-handed swinging middle infielder who's transferring from Miami to UCF this summer. Small sample size this past season at Miami, hit 182 and 99 ABs, and now he takes low and outside once more, and it's 2-0 on him. Jimenez 1 for 8 so far against the Kettleers in 2 games played. The 1-1 from Lyon. Low and outside and past the outstretched arms of Grant J as it goes back to the backstop, and that's something that Lyon struggled with in that first inning. A pair of wild pitches bringing home 2 runs for Wareham. Kettleers loading up the bases in the top half of this inning. With no outs, they were unable to bring anybody home. As that 2-0 pitch is hit high out of play, nearly hitting one of the light poles, and it'll head to the parking lot on the first base side. Jimenez 9 extra base hits out of his 18 total this past season at Miami. And been on a tear so far this summer, as that one is just barely off the end of his bat and flipped straight back into the fence once more, 2-2. Home plate umpire will collect some new baseballs. Jimenez so far this season playing incredibly well in the field, combining with Bobby Bozer for a fielding percentage just beneath 94%, as that one is looked at and called a strike 3. Second straight strikeout for Isaac Lyon. Sets down Antonio Jimenez, and there's one gone in this bottom of the second.
It's a good response from Isaac Lyon. Back out on the mound, ran into some trouble in the bottom of the first. 2 runs came in to score, but always good to get the first guy out in the order and provide a little bit of momentum.
Well, left-handed hitting Nate Early as that one gets by Grant J and back to the backstop. So 1-0 the count to Early, who is making his transfer to Louisville this upcoming fall, transferring from Florida Southwestern. Played 54 games there, as the 1-0 pitch is roped over the head of Matt Klein and down the right field line for a base hit. So back-to-back 1-out base runners for the Gatemen so far in this ball game, as they put 2 on base, and they both came around to score in the bottom half of the first inning. Now with 1 gone, Colby Turner will bat with the runner on first.
Nate Early continues to rake at the dish over his last 5 games now. 6 for 15.
Takes a big lead at first, and the first pitch to Colby Turner takes outside. Ball 1 to Turner, who is also a former member of the transfer portal this summer, transferring from San Diego State to Michigan. So going from the Mountain West to the Big Ten. Hit .361 for the Aztecs this past year, and now he takes slow and inside for a called strike 1. 1-1 the count here to Turner. Turner so far, .214 on the summer, has knocked 9 base hits. Couple of RBIs and has walked 4 times, and now he takes beneath his knees, and it's 2-1. So Turner leaving his home base of Southern California, where he went to high school in Huntington Beach, California, and then a couple hours down south to San Diego State, making the move to the Big Ten, as that one's hit on a high chop towards that vincula. Takes it to the second base bag himself, and now throws to first, and that's scooped up by Matt Klein for out number 3. So the Kettleers pick up the double play to end the bottom of the second inning. And before we send it to the top half of this third frame, with the Kettleers trailing 2-0, we'll check in for the first time today with our sideline reporter, Adele Huffman, who has more. Adele?
But this time starting us out, he's from Grand Canyon University, but originally from Utah, a right-handed pitcher standing at 6'3". This past year in 2024, he had a 3.97 ERA with 17 appearances and 6 wins and only 1 loss at Grand Canyon University. But something cool about him is his father actually played 12 years in the MLB. So like father, like son, I guess, following in his father's footsteps. So it's cool to see him out here playing the game that him and his father probably grew up playing together.
Yeah, definitely have to ask him at some point, the influence that his father had playing in the major leagues and of course like playing for so many different teams. And I guess that's kind of what a lot of these college guys are doing, playing for different colleges, of course hitting the transfer portal, but also being able to experience summer baseball. And obviously Alex Lyon taking advantage of that, and got to think that that's pretty cool for him and his family.
That it is, and you've seen Lyon really make a lot of good progress out on the mound. Struggled in the first inning today, but came back and rolled the inning-ending double play ball, and he's had a lot of success this year for the Kettleers. So always good to see a guy who grew up around the game of baseball still playing into his collegiate days.
Always cool to see baseball become a family game, and then out here we all become a family as well in the Cape Cod League.
Very true. Very true, Adele. Well, Isaac Lyon taking advantage of his first start for the Kettleers, running into some trouble in that first inning, but an inning ago, working out of that bottom of the second frame and keeping this score at 2-0 as we send it to the top of the third. Kettleers sending 2, 3, and 4 up to the lineup to face Tate McGuire, who's in his third inning of work. From the windup, the pitch, and it's a bunt laid down the first base line by Matt Klein, twisting into foul ground. Just beneath us, as Klein is 0 for 1 so far today. A strikeout swinging was the second of now 5 strikeout victims for Tate McGuire. So entering this ball game, 15 strikeouts in over 10 innings pitched so far this summer. Now he's up to 20 as this one is rocketed deep right field. Klein running up the first base line as Chapman goes back to the fence, leaping up, and that ball is gone. Matt Klein has cut the Wareham lead in half. It's 2-1 in the top of the third, blasting the first home run for the Kettleers here at Spillane Field.
First home run and first extra base hit for Matt Klein this summer. That was a deep drive into right field, and thought it had a chance to stay in the park. Reese Chapman, the right fielder, gave a jumping attempt at it, but he just runs out of room, and Matt Klein cuts the deficit in half.
So touch 'em all for Matt Klein to start off this third frame. Devin Taylor will dig in, already 1 for 1 with a single. Pitch is inside. Devin Taylor spins away from that one. And the count 1-0 to him. So reaching on a single, advancing to second on a wild pitch. And now he swats this one foul, hard down the right field line. And creeping behind one of those couple sheds that are down the right field line beyond the fence. And now McGuire working quickly once more. That one fouled straight back over the press box. Could tell Taylor just missed it. Was frustrated with himself after that swing.
Not too many times we see Devin Taylor really get frustrated in the box. A guy who cool mentality at the dish, but knows he missed the pitch.
1-2 pitch. He fights it off into shallow center field. Jimenez ranging back. He goes into a slide, but it's just out of reach. And Devin Taylor is able to bloop that one into shallow center field for his second single of the day.
And the Kettleers are starting to put better at-bats together. Against the starter, Tate McGuire put 3 runners on base via hit by pitch and 2 walks last inning. And now, of course, Matt Klein blasts a home run. Devin Taylor just fights a pitch in off of his hands to dunk into center field. And now you're finally starting to see the at-bats translate into hits for the Kettleers.
Now the first pitch to Cerny shows the bunt. Now a back pick back to first. And Devin Taylor, his teammate, is back in there standing up. So a quick snap throw from behind the plate by Sam White, who now lines up low and inside. Tyler Cerny from the right side takes a pitch down around his knees, and it's 1-1. Cerny striking out swinging his last time up. 3 strikeouts in the first for Tate McGuire, allowed 3 base runners in the second inning. Worked himself out of that jam, and now a bit of a jam to start off this top of the third. 1-1 pitch. Cerny reaches out over the plate and fouls it straight back. That one bouncing just in front of a car that was passing behind the press box, and a bunch of kids will make their way into the forest trying to find that souvenir. Cerny trying to stay alive. The 1-2 pitch from McGuire. Here it comes. Fastball fought off again into shallow center field. Back under it is Dessereau, and he will make the play just behind the second base bag for the first out. So he retires Tyler Cerny, who goes back to 0 for 2, and here's Charles Davallon.
It's a good response from McGuire back out on the mound after allowing the first two guys to record base knocks in the inning. Just running a pitch on the hands of Tyler Cerny, who just hit a weak pop-up to the infield.
Charles Davallon took a hit by pitch his last time up after falling behind in the count 0-2, and now will fall behind 0-1 here by fouling one straight back into the fence on the high fastball from McGuire. So we talked about McGuire's strong play going into this ball game. 2 earned runs his last time out against Bourne, the first ones he's allowed this season, as Davallon fouls one straight back once more. It's 0-2. Another earned run so far today. Third given up on the young year for McGuire. 13 innings pitched going into this contest, allowed 8 hits, 3 walks. And has already walked 2 batters today and hit a man, as the 0-2 pitch to Davallon takes low and outside, 1-2. Have to assume there'll be some back and forth whenever these two guys join the same roster this fall. Charles Davallon, Tate McGuire already playing his first season at Arkansas, as Davallon stays alive by swatting it foul down the third base line over our heads, and it's still 1-2. Davallon, a .290 hitter, batting in the leadoff spot at Florida Gulf Coast this past season. Part of the all-ASUN freshman team. And Devin Taylor will dive back into first base. So the middle infielders will be playing back, Jimenez and Dessereau. Gray far off the line at third. Early is holding the runner on there as that one skipped into Sam White. It skips to his right towards the Kets on deck circle. And Devin Taylor will move up to second. So the second time in as many times that Taylor has been on base, he's been able to reach on a wild pitch, and they'll put him in scoring position with one gone.
Taylor got a good read on that pitch in the dirt from McGuire. As soon as it kicked off the right shoulder of Sam White, Taylor was off to the races.
Taylor, his lead at second. The 2-2 pitch to Davallon. Fights that one off. High over our heads and towards the high school, out of play again. So a good battle here worked by Charles Davallon. Already reached one time today. That flag in just above the right field fence is blowing straight away towards deep center. The 2-2. Davallon gets a hold of this one. Lines it down the left field line, going back on at Turner. He settles under it and makes the grab. Tracking back towards the left field fence as Devin Taylor will head back to second. And that's the second out of this third inning.
Davallon hit that ball well. It was a rocket off the bat, just Colby Turner in left field moving underneath it for the second out, but really starting to see Davallon hit the ball a lot harder in these last 2 games.
So Davallon giving that one a ride. He goes back to 0 for 1, of course already reaching on the hit by pitch. And now here's Nolan Naraki, his second plate appearance, first at bat, as he walked his first time up and takes a strike one outside. 0-1. So the Kettleers already struggling with runners in scoring position today, Alex. You brought that up after the end of the second inning. They had left 4 on base already and were 0 for 4. 0-1 to Naraki. Takes for a called strike 2.
And that's something that Mike Roberts has talked a lot about, having the ability to be clutch and needing more guys in this lineup to be clutch. When you're load the bases with no outs, you need to be able to scratch and claw and get 1 run on the board. But the Kettleers were shut out after loading the bases with no outs.
0-2 to Naraki. Reaches out over the plate, lifts that one down the right center field alleyway, and it's past the reach of Reese Chapman. Back to the wall. Davallon will come in and score. That's Devin Taylor. Scores from second. As going into second base with an RBI double is Nolan Naraki. And the Kettleers will tie this game up at 2-2.
And those are the at-bats needed by the Kettleers of coming up, falling behind in the count 0-2. And McGuire lets a pitch right down the heart of the plate. Naraki makes no mistake on it, lines that into the right center field gap and doing a job as now this game all even at 2 apiece here in the top of the third.
So Naraki will take his lead at second. Devin Taylor came around to score after singling, so he's 2 for 2 now with a run scored. And the RBI double off the bat of Nolan Naraki. He's 1 for 1 as Brandon Compton will take Lowen away 1-0. So the Kettleers getting to the seemingly untouchable Tate McGuire. As mentioned, just 2 earned runs and 13 innings pitched going into this ball game. Kettleers now with 2 runs on the scoreboard and 2-2. Score is tied here at Spillane Field. Still 2 gone in this top of the third inning for Brandon Compton, who fouls one off and the count 1-1 to him. He walked his last time up, and the Kettleers finally delivering with runners in scoring position. Got to be huge for this offense to build some of that momentum. Naraki off second, Brandon Compton the batter, taking a look in at McGuire, who comes set with the black glove just above his belt. The 1-1 pitch. He checks his swing and rolls it slowly towards the mound. McGuire up with it, will underhand flip to first to retire the side. So Brandon Compton makes the third out, not before Matt Klein hits his first home run of the summer, and Nolan Naraki with an RBI double to make this game 2-2 as we go to the home half of the third here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Bottom of the third inning from Spillane Field. It'll be 9-1-2. Ryan Smythe will send up to this bottom of the third inning to face Isaac Lyon, who works into his third inning of work. A 3-up, 3-down inning, you could call it, in the bottom of the second. Did give up a single, but then it was a double play ball on the ground by Colby Turner to end that frame. So it'll be Johan Desereau out of Stetson playing at second base today, getting his first looks and the last man in this Wareham lineup to have not faced Isaac Lyon. So Wareham coming into this game on a 3-game winning streak. 8-2 was their last win against Chatham right here at Spillane Field a night ago. Scored 8 runs on 8 hits. So far tonight, 2 runs on just 1 hit. Kettleers getting in their own way in the field. And now Isaac Lyon, his first pitch in the bottom of the third inning, misses low and outside to the left-handed swinging Desereau. And the count is 1-0. Lyon working from the stretch primarily on the first base side of the rubber, as that one is swung on and rolled on the ground on the infield past the outstretched arms of Matt Klein and into right field for a leadoff single.
It's the first time so far today that the leadoff man has reached base for Wareham. So an early start for Johan Desereau, and now back to the top of this Gatemen lineup that gave Isaac Lyon trouble back in the first inning.
Sam White, a ground out to first his last time up. Runner on first is Desereau. Takes a short lead there, and now Lyon will throw back to first. Klein receives it, and diving back in safely is Desereau. So he leads off this frame with a single, as you mentioned, the first leadoff man to reach. But they haven't been able to they haven't been struggling with putting runners on base so far. One in each of the first 2 innings, and they'll check back at first once more, trying to keep him right there. But just looking for a double play ball here is Lyon. First pitch to Sam White. He chops with the bunt, and it's down the first base line, but takes one hop in the grass and spins out of play. So Isaac Lyon coming into this game, already appearing in 3 home games. This is first appearance on the road, playing against Brewster, Orleans, and Chatham. And has not eclipsed the 2-inning mark so far this season. Did that against Brewster on June 27th, went 2 innings, gave up 2 hits. Through 21 pitches, that was a season high for him. This will be the 40th on the day to Sam White. He comes set. And we'll throw back to first once more. Lyon going 6-1 this past season at GCU with 11 starts. A 3.97 ERA in that span. 17 total games for him. The 0-1 pitch. Reaching out over the plate and fouling it off is Sam White. 0-2 the count now. Pitching well over 80 innings was Lyon this past season as a freshman. Finishing up his sophomore campaign. But this year with 7 quality starts, 7 of his 11 starts going 6+ innings where he allowed 3 or less earned runs. Now he finds the dirt there with the 0-2 pitch, and it's 1-2 now to White. Pretty cool moment for him on April 21st, where he turned in 7 innings and allowed 2 earned runs while striking out 8 against Utah Tech. 1-2. White looks at strike 3 as the throw down to second is not in time. So nearly a strike him out, throw him out. The Kettleers will get the first half of that, and it turns out to be the 3rd strikeout of the day for Isaac Lyon.
Now that 6, Bobby Bozer.
Lyon was keeping a close eye on Desereau over there at first base, but Desereau got a great jump. But an even better pitch by Isaac Lyon right on the outside corner. Sam White, all he could do was look at it for the 3rd strike. But now there is a runner in scoring position with 1 out.
Bobby Bozer is the batter. Lyon taking a couple looks at second. Now he throws. Bozer fights one off. Down the shallow right field line. Charging in is Ballou. He makes the grab. And we'll look that runner back to second base. Desereau having to stay put there, and there's 2 gone.
That's not the guy you want to see step into the box with a runner in scoring position, but a nice job by Lyon to tie Bozer with a pitch in on his hands. Just could dunk it into right field as Ballou coming on, and 2 quick outs for the Kettleers starter.
It'll be Tristan Gray out of Fresno State. He's 0 for 1. Another righty on righty matchup. Lyon said he takes a look at second. The first pitch is taken down the heart of the plate for a strike 1. And that April 21 appearance, a series finale against Utah Tech, it was an appearance that maybe you don't pay too much attention to when looking back at Isaac Lyon's numbers from this past season. But taking down Utah Tech for those 7 innings for him, it was the team that his dad played for and had his number 9 jersey retired at after finishing up his career and going on to play in the MLB, as Adele just mentioned a couple innings ago. Now the 1-1 pitch. That one lifted to deep left center field. Davallon racing back towards the alleyway, looking up towards the fence. It's just out of his reach. Takes a hop and bounces off the wall. Davallon recovers, throws it in. And going into second is Tristan Gray as Desereau scores easily from second base to make it a 3-2 ball game.
Tristan Gray crushed that ball into the left center field gap. Davallon gave it a run, lost his hat in the process, tried to go up and make a leaping grab, but the ball just avoided his glove. And talked about Cotuit swing the momentum back after the 1-2-3 inning by Isaac Lyon in the bottom of the second, scoring 2, but one big drive by Tristan Gray as the Gatemen now lead by a run.
It'll be Reese Chapman. He reached his last time on the catcher's interference play. And he came around to score. Now he takes a first pitch fastball outside, taken for ball 1. So reaching, advancing on a wild pitch to second and to third. And then scoring once more on the error. So taking advantage of a couple mistakes on the field for the Kettleers were the Gatemen. And now he rolls this one weakly on the ground towards the mound. Throw up the first base line. Klein and Chapman will collide. He's able to hang on to the baseball, but he had to track into the baseline where Chapman was running there. And Klein nearly colliding with him. He did go and take a tumble behind the bag, but was still able to receive the third out. So the Kettleers escaping this bottom of the third inning after giving up the third run of this ball game. So they trail by one, going to the top of the fourth here on the Cats Radio Network. When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free comb on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
With 30-plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Willow Bend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willow Bend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at Willow Bend.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
For game 3, Grant J. from Dallas Baptist University.
The Kettleers will continue to play from behind here in this top of the fourth inning, starting off with Grant J., and they'll be facing a new pitcher into the game for the Wareham Gatemen. It'll be Sam Meddert out of St. John's, making his 8th appearance of the summer, fashioning a 1.23 ERA. And this actually being his 5th appearance of the summer, has pitched just over 7 innings and misses with the first attempt there towards Grant J. So the Kettleers will bring 8, 9, and 1 up to the plate in this top of the fourth inning. So recently falling back behind 3-2 as Jay rolls that one on the ground towards third. It's barely up the line, but foul by just about a foot out of the reach of Tristan Gray. So Grant Jay swinging through strike 3 his last time up. He is 0 for 1 and batting in a familiar spot as he was in the last couple games. 3 straight starts at the leadoff man role, and now he falls back behind in the count here 1-2. Takes a big cut at that fastball from Meddert. Kettleers in need of a base runner in this fourth inning. A righty-on-righty matchup as Meddert comes set from the first base side of the rubber. He throws, and that ball pops out of the glove of Sam White. Who knows if he was able to receive that cleanly. Would have been called to strike 3, but Grant J. will stay alive at 2-2. So Jay struggling as the leadoff man. Started things off really well with the double, and now he goes down on strikes for the second time today. That one dotted on the low and outside portion of the plate. Grant J watches it go by for strike 3.
And it's the 6th strikeout of the day for this Kettleer lineup. Just Wareham doing a nice job getting in front of hitters and punching them out here as Sam Meddert picks up right where Tate McGuire left off.
So Jaron Advincula will bat now. He's 0 for 1. Meddert, the righty, throws, and Advincula rolls this one towards first base. It's in foul territory. Advincula entering this game as the top hitter in the CCBL for batting average, but in last night's contest going 0 for 3 against the Brewster Whitecaps, where they lost 4-3 in that ball game. Their second straight loss to Brewster at Lowell Park. Now the 0-1 pitch. Advincula watches it go low and outside. The lefty evens it up at 1-1. Kettleers working themselves into 5 3-up, 3-down innings last night. Brewster pitching incredibly efficient. And the offense for the Kettleers just couldn't seem to get anything going as Advincula takes low and inside, and now it's 2-1. They really fell behind earlier in that ball game. They were playing from behind but couldn't get any offense going, couldn't stack runs together. All 3 of those runs for Cotuit being spread out across the 9 innings in the ball game. 2-1 pitch. Misses outside, and Advincula's in the driver's seat, 3-1. Pitching-wise, the Kettleers doing a pretty solid job, though. Of course, 3 earned runs in the bullpen, but walking 1 batter, striking out 13. 3-1 to Advincula. He takes upstairs, and he's headed to first with a walk.
And walks were the main issue this past season for Meddert at St. John's. In his first season with the Red Storm, had a 2-1 record, a 5.19 ERA in 21 appearances. Also tallied 6 saves in 26 innings, but walked 19 batters in those 21 appearances while striking out 32.
Now here's Max Ballou, the top of the Kettleers lineup. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of swinging Ks. Facing Meddert for the first time, and he throws down beneath the knees of Ballou. 1-0 to the left-handed swinger out of Texas, facing Meddert for the first time, who just finished up his junior year at St. John's. Tall right-handed pitcher, 6'4". Comes set with the glove in front of his chest, and the 1-1 pitch, or the 1-0 pitch, makes it 1-1 down the heart of the plate. Meddert wearing the white pants, pulled up just beneath his knees, showing off those navy blue socks for Wareham. And the 1-1 pitch. Advincula takes off for second, but Ballou fouls it straight back, so he'll have to return to the first base bag with the count 1-2 on Ballou. Cotuit missing a major piece in the heart of this lineup for them today. Tanner Thatch was riding an 8-game hitting streak, was hitting .584 in his last 4 ball games. Clearly the hottest hitter in this Cotuit lineup. But he headed out of town, attending a friend's wedding, and he'll be back hopefully pretty soon to reinsert himself back into this Cotuit lineup and continue his chase for the #1 spot in home runs in the CCBL. Wareham with plenty of homers themselves, leading the CCBL with 22. And now they'll check back at first. A 1-2 count still to Max Ballou. Jaron Advincula on first base, and the lights are on here at Spillane Field as the partly cloudy skies have continued to clear up. And now the next pitch from Meddert. Down in the zone and called to strike 3. Max Ballou will fall back to 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. And it's quickly the second strikeout of the day for Sam Meddert.
Ballou didn't like that call, thought the pitch was low and beneath his knees, shook his head after that, and still talking in the on-deck circle with Devin Taylor. But a nice job by Sam Meddert here to come out of the bullpen and record punch-outs of Grant J. and Max Ballou.
Now it'll be Matt Klein, who's 1 for 2, and now he swats one high towards foul territory. Tristan Gray going after it and foul ground and up the left field line. He will pull down the third out. So locating that one through the wind on the first pitch to Matt Klein. who falls back to 1 for 3. So the Kettleers will put one runner on base in the top of the 4th inning. They leave him stranded at first, and it was 3 up, 3 down other than that. So they still trail 3-2 as we go to the home half of the 4th here on the Kettleers Radio Network. Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. They offer breakfast and lunch, as well as indoor and outdoor dining. Check out Cape Cod Coffee at one of their 3 locations, on Route 130, at Mashpee Commons, and at Wareham Commons, or on their website at capecodcoffee.com. The Kettleers baseball clinics are well underway in the summer of 2024, offering boys and girls ages 6 through 17 with the opportunity to learn from some of the most experienced coaches and some of the top college baseball players in the country. With no prior baseball experience necessary, the camps teach kids the fundamentals of baseball, as well as good citizenship, sportsmanship, and character. With just a few weeks of camp left, time is running out. So to sign up, head over to info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. Again, that's info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. We hope to see you there.
This Saturday, the Kettleers are reuniting the 1995 champions by welcoming the championship-winning team back to Lowell Park. A blast from the past. Several of the players will take batting practice before a pregame ceremony honoring the team, followed by a group first pitch. The Kettleers will take on Chatham, the team Cotuit beat in 1995 for his 13th CCBL title. Join us in welcoming Kettleers history Saturday, July 13th at Lowell Park.
2 is your score in the bottom of the 4th inning here from Spillane Field. Isaac Lyon will return to the bump, facing this Wareham lineup that has been able to put runners on base in each of the first 3 innings against Isaac Lyon. And it'll be the heart of this batting lineup: Jace Reinhardt, Antonio Jimenez, and Nate Early. The first pitch is swung at and missed. Down in the dirt to Reinhardt. Caught fishing, and he is down in the count 0-1, already 0 for 1 today at the plate. The first strikeout victim for Isaac Lyon. He now has 3, and here's the 0-1. Another swing and a miss there, and he's ahead 0-2 on Reinhardt. So it's an all stone dust infield here at Spillane Field, the only regular-looking dirt patches all around home plate. The pitcher's mound, of course, where Isaac Lyon is set with the 0-2. The pitch is hit hard just off of the glove of Lyon, straight back towards Advincula, who throws on a hop, and it is not in time as that one bounced into Matt Klein, and Reinhardt beats it out for the infield single.
That's just a crazy play that Jaron Advincula, the second baseman, could reach that ball that deflected off the glove of Isaac Lyon out on the mound. And give credit to Reinhardt, who was hustling out the entire way. If he's not running, that's a ground out in the first out of the inning on a heck of a play by Jaron Advincula.
So a short lead for Reinhardt at first. Now he extends it. Lyon's first pitch is roped over Tyler Cerny and into left center field. Running in on his Davalon. Now he bobbles it for a second, but the runners will stay put. So back-to-back singles for Jace Reinhardt and Antonio Jimenez to start off this 4th inning.
Now batting the first baseman, Nate Early from Louisville.
This is the start that you need if you're the Gatemen here. Scored a run to take the lead last inning. Currently have a 3-2 lead, and now the offense is starting to pick up with back-to-back hard-hit balls against Isaac Lyon.
There is an arm warming up in the Kettleers bullpen behind the green screened fence that lines the outfield at Spillane Field, and now a called strike 1 in there to Nate Early, who is transferring to Louisville this upcoming fall. He singled in the 2nd inning, but was nabbed at second on a double play that Advincula did himself, taking it to the bag at second and then throwing to first to complete that 2nd inning. As the 0-1 pitch popped up in foul territory, down the left field line goes Naraki, and he makes the play just beyond the home grandstand. But the umpiring crew is going to say that he was technically out of bounds. So there is the white chalk line that goes down to the left field foul pole, all the way down to the left field fence. And then there is another chalk line, maybe 20 feet to the left of that, that is designated as an area that balls cannot be played in if they're go into that area, it is automatically a dead ball, and a big reason for that is the end of the home grandstand ends, and there are still some field of play where a lot of pitchers warm up. And so that's where Naraki came down with the baseball. Too far out of play, and the at-bat continues for Nate Early, who fouls off another pitch and remains alive at 0-2. Shadows casting themselves across this infield. Isaac Lyon still in the sunshine, but Naraki at third, completely in the shadows. The 0-2 pitch. Early swings and misses at strike 3. So Isaac Lyon goes down in the zone and finds his 4th strikeout of the afternoon, picking up a much-needed first out after giving up back-to-back singles to start off this bottom of the 4th.
Lyon attacking Early on the inner portion of the plate and all down in the zone as Early just swings over the 0-2 pitch from Lyon for the strikeout.
Takes a look at second. Now the throw down there. Advincula's tag, not in time. They thought they had him at second. Reinhardt with a big secondary leader. Looked like he got into that secondary, but Lyon quickly throwing it back there. Lyon taking a look back at Reinhardt on second once more. His first pitch is fanned at and missed by Colby Turner, who's 0 for 1. Grounded into a double play in the second inning. Another transfer in this roster. Down at the bottom of it, batting 8th, playing in left field today is Turner. And trying to make a difference on this Wareham lineup, as a lot of these guys have been here since the start of the summer. He is one who has not, and that one is fanned at and missed once more on the slider from Lyon. Ahead in the count 0-2. Big lead at first for Antonio Jimenez. Lyon comes set. Pitch to Turner. Down in the dirt. So Lyon working into his 4th inning, trying to work himself out of it. A ground ball would do perfectly right here. Ahead in the count 1-2, takes a couple looks at second. The pitch. Lifted into straightaway center field. Davallon settling under it and on the run. He will flag that down. Both runners will stay put. And quickly there are 2 gone, worked by Isaac Lyon in this 4th inning.
Nice job so far by Lyon in this inning to work into and out of trouble. Gave up back-to-back hits to lead things off in the inning, back-to-back singles, but got the strikeout of Early and the fly ball into center field that Charles Davallon could easily make the catch on.
And now Mike Roberts will make his way to the mound. See if he'll make his first pitching change of this ball game. He will, with 2 outs in this bottom of the 4th inning. Runners are on first and second for Johan Desero. We will have a lefty come into this ball game for the Kettleers, down 3-2 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Don't go anywhere from Spillane Field.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Oster.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere, Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Looking to connect with the right business? Zoom Info's got you covered. With a database of over 100 million company profiles, they provide top-notch data to boost sales and marketing growth. Since 2007, Zoom Info's B2B data quality has ensured that businesses have the best intelligence right at your fingertips. Discover more at zoominfo.com and see how you can get connected. So the new arm into the game for the Kettleers is Harrison Bodendorf. He will face Johan Desero. 1-for-1 with a single, stolen base, and a run scored back in that third inning. So his second at-bat in as many frames, and it'll be the 5th appearance of the summer for Harrison Bodendorf. The lefty comes set, throws. Lifted into shallow right center field. Charging in is Max Ballou. Wind taking that one, but he flags it down. The hat fell off for Charles Davalon. The shades fell off for Max Ballou. A yard sale in shallow right center. But the Kettleers locate their third out in the bottom of the 4th inning to keep the Wareham Gatemen at 3-2. So we go to the top of the 5th frame. And before we send it there, we'll check in for the second time today with our sideline reporter, Adele Huffman, who has more. Adele?
With his first start at first base tonight. And when I asked him about how he prepares for 3 games away in a row, his mindset is just to take it one game at a time. And remember that every game is a new game. So reset before the next day. And then I asked him about his transition from catcher to first base tonight. He said that in college he played first base quite a bit. And as a kid, he really enjoyed playing infield. So he's used to switching positions, but obviously it does switch things up. And sometimes it might be a little hard to get used to it. But Klein with a great time tonight. And I'll go ahead and tease our next hit that we've got coming up later on. Our guilty pleasure songs from the players. What gets them hyped up for games? Matt Klein's is A-OK. If you don't know it, I'm not going to sing it.
I don't know it.
Well, maybe after the broadcast, I'll show it to you.
Are you sure?
For sure.
I'm just saying, are you sure you don't want to sing it?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, the name does not always come with good vocal cords, sadly.
Good to know. I mean, we didn't know that. I wouldn't have guessed that.
I did not know that.
Alex, do you know the song?
I do know the song.
All right, perfect.
I'm not going to sing
is it. Is it the Bryson Stott A-OK? The walk-up song? Oh, okay.
So that's what gets Klein ready for game days.
Nice.
Well, I think it's worked today. He's 1 for 3 with a home run that cut the deficit to just 2-1. When Cotuit scored 2 in that top of the 3rd, but Matt Klein just had such a productive season for the Kettleers this year behind the dish, starting 3 straight games when the Kettleers needed him most. But, of course, filling a need in today with Tanner Thatch at a friend's wedding. Matt Klein coming in, making a couple of nice plays in the field, and, of course, that bat.
Yeah, we know the great job he's able to do in the field, especially behind the plate. Our first looks at him at first base, has scooped up a couple of balls, has blocked a few ground balls. And as you mentioned, the game has a funny way of finding you, and it did in the first one of this ball game. On the ground ball to him, but he fielded it cleanly and has been a clean fielder since then. So Devin Taylor takes up in the zone there to even the count at 1-1. First pitch he saw was a called strike 1. Also a great day at the plate brewing for Devin Taylor. He's 2 for 2. Pair of singles. 1-1 pitch. He swats that one foul straight back and over the press box. So 1-2 the count to Devin Taylor. And we've talked so much about this great campaign that he had this past season at Indiana. As the next pitch is tipped into the glove of Sam White, and that's going to be strike 3. Devin Taylor goes back to 2 for 3, the 3rd strikeout of the day for Sam Meddert.
That's another Gatemen strikeout brought to you by the
Meddert's come out of the bullpen and picked up right where Tate McGuire has left off, as now it's 8 strikeouts through 4 1/3 of this Kettleer lineup, as Taylor tipped it right into the mitt of Sam White. And Devin Taylor's not an easy guy to make look silly at the dish, but Sam Meddert just got his timing off.
So now here's Tyler Cerny. He'll take a called strike one. So both pitchers in this ball game, Tate McGuire and now Sam Mettert, done a nice job of getting ahead of these hitters. Now with one gone, working with the infield and outfield straight up, the 0-1 pitch finds the dirt to Cerny, 1-1. So of course the lights are on here at Spillane Field. Sun hasn't set yet over the left field corner. Plenty of shadows cast across this infield. Two of the infielders still in the sun, barely though. As the 1-1 pitch to Cerny, low and outside on the breaking ball, 2-1. Second baseman Desiro, Nate Early at first. They are playing deep in their respective positions, both in the sunshine, but the rest of the infield covered in shadows. The 2-1 pitch is upstairs once more, and Cerny takes it 3-1. So we saw a base knock from Cerny last night deep into right center field, robbing him of what could have been another double on the season, of which he leads the Kettleers roster, and now he takes outside here for a called ball 4. So he heads to first for the first time today. And a good plate appearance at that for Tyler Cerny, who we've talked about in these last few weeks. Alex has been putting a charge into a lot of baseballs, but just hasn't been able to find those gaps, and it was more of the same last night.
Yeah, he gave that ball a ride to the deepest part of the park in Lowell Park, but those are the type of at-bats for Tyler Cerny that you really like, where he's disciplined enough. Sam Mettert just peppering the zone low and outside, but Cerny disciplined enough to lay off.
Davallon ropes one on the ground towards first, just out of the reach of Nate Early. And in foul play, so Davallon being aggressive at the plate. 0-1 is the count to him, and he's another guy who's put in some solid plate appearances. But being patient up there and trying to wait for his chance where he's able to squeeze it through a gap. But now down here in the count, 0-1, Cerny standing next to the first base bag will just put his left foot on it as Mettert checks back there. Cerny not too much of a stolen base threat. Kettleers haven't been too aggressive on the base path so far today. And now throwing to the 200 hitting Charles Davallon, who lays down the bunt down the third base line. Charging in is Gray, and the ball will be picked up by Mettert as Sam White quickly scampers to third base. So the bunt works out for the Kettleers. Davallon advances to first safely. Cerny into scoring position, and with one gone, here comes Nolan Naraki.
Perfectly executed bunt there by Charles Davallon, laying it right down the third base line. The third baseman, Tristan Gray, playing well back in that gray dirt there. Even there's a chance no one was covering third base. Tyler Cerny made the turnaround second, but wisely puts on the brake. So it's runners on first and second for Nolan Naraki, who really hit a shot in his last at-bat.
Yeah, he did. That was in the right center field gap. Got all the way back to the fence, and he's 1 for 1, reached on a walk and reached scoring position in both of his 2 plate appearances, but was left there. Now he takes a first pitch fastball down the heart of the zone and called to strike 1. So Naraki dealing with more runners in scoring position here. They'll be on first and second. Davallon a short lead at first. Cerny at second base. A big hole on the right side of the infield as the second baseman holds the runner on there. Mettert is set with the blonde glove. He takes a look at home before heading back to second. It was weird. A quick look by Mettert to home plate and then quickly back to second, and then he stepped off. Didn't throw back to second, but nearly looked like a slight flinch from Mettert and could have been called a balk, but he will come set. Both runners fake the steal. The 0-1 pitch, and now this is going to be a balk. Mettert loses his footing on the mound. Unable to release the pitch, just doesn't quite get the release point or the landing zone down with the left foot. And boy, just not a play you want to see if you're a pitcher. Not sure if the mound caused that, but Mettert just slipping with the right cleat. And now the Kettleers with a golden opportunity to try to take a lead in this ball game. A righty-on-righty matchup with Nolan Naraki at the plate, deep in the right side of the box. Mettert set, the 0-1. Roped through the left side of the infield. That's a base hit. Cerny will come home and score. Davallon held up at third. Nolan Naraki ties up this ball game at 3-3 in the top of the 5th inning.
Nolan Naraki continuing to deliver for the Kettleers in his last 2 games, has picked up 3 hits, and that ball just roped right into left field as Tyler Cerny comes in to score. But 2 excellent at-bats today for Nolan Naraki.
So some more offense with runners in scoring position. Naraki batting well when they're in scoring position. Now 2 for 2 with a walk, a double, and a single. His second RBIs of this ball game, and now a 3-3 score at Spillane Field. Brandon Compton will be the batter facing Sam Mettert. For the first time, he's the only batter in this Ketts lineup to have not faced the tall righty out of St. John's. A 6'4" thrower takes a look at first before coming set. Runners are on the corners with 1 gone to Compton, who rolls this one on a high chop towards second base. Desereau waits for it. Underhand flip to second. For 1, the throw to first is not in time. Charles Davalon will score from third, and the Kettleers capture their first lead of the ball game.
It's a high chopping ground ball that really confused Desereau over there at second base. Had his glove ready for it, but just took a weird bounce off the grass and took him low, so he went down to a knee. His flip was low to Antonio Jimenez, who struggled with the relay throw as Compton legs out the fielder's choice, but it's all even here with 2 outs in the 5th.
Grant J likes the first pitch he sees, flares it foul over the first base dugout. That one hitting off of the last row of the grandstand that's just above the Ketts dugout. Only about 8 rows there. And then a much larger grandstand just above the Kettleers on deck circle where Jaron Advincula stands. Short lead at first for Brandon Compton. The 0-1 pitch. Jay takes low and away, backhanded by Sam White, who's having to be a good backstop as this game has progressed. A couple of wild pitches on either side, 2 of which in the first inning for the Kettleers brought home the first runs for the Gatemen. Next pitch to Jay. He takes outside and is ahead in the count 2-1. Grant Jay from the right side of the batter's box, waving the black-barreled bat above his right shoulder. The 2-1, and a half-hearted swing there from Jay sends him back to 2-2. Just going after a breaking ball. Low and away from Mettert. Nasty stuff there, and we'll see if he comes back with it here at 2-2. He comes set with 2 outs in the frame. Kettleers leading 4-3. And Jay rolls that one foul just at the base of the Wareham dugout, so he'll stay alive at 2-2. Grant Jay reaching base at an incredibly high clip this past season at DBU. Started off the season with an 18-game on-base streak. Went on to hit .296 for the Patriots. Now Mettert set. The 2-2. Fastball cut on and missed. Strike 3. So Mettert escapes the top of the 5th inning. Not before the Kettleers take a 4-2 lead on an RBI double from Nolan Naraki, and then the fielder's choice groundout off the bat of Brandon Compton. So they lead by 2 as we go to the home half of the 5th, and when we come back, our broadcast partner Alex Rocco will take you home on the play-by-play from here on out. Don't go anywhere on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Each week, the Cape Cod Baseball League is honoring those who served with Red Shirt Fridays. Every home team on Fridays wear red Cape League uniforms and an Army camouflaged hat. For every Friday game at Lowell Park, the Kettleers are honoring a hero of the game presented by the Massachusetts State Lottery. For exclusive Red Shirt Friday gear like fitted player hats, head to the Kettleers store at the ballpark. We hope you can join us for a Red Shirt Friday at Lowell Park this season.
The Cape Cod League All-Star Game is just a few weeks away. Cheer on your favorite Kettleers as they square off with some of the best players on the Cape. This year's game will be played in Falmouth on July 27th. The gates open up at 1:30 p.m. ahead of the 6 o'clock first pitch. All-Star Game tickets can be found at www.capecodleague.com/allstargame. Or you can find out more information about the tickets at the Kettleers store.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
under the lights here at Spillane Field as Cotuit leads the Wareham Gatemen 4-3. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by Joe Pratt and Adele Huffman. Cam Christie on the controls as it's Harrison Bodendorf back out to the mound. For his first full inning of work, came in and got the last out against Johan Desero in relief of Isaac Lyon, who goes 3 2/3 innings pitched, has allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, walked a batter, and struck out 4. But it's the top of this Wareham order facing the lefty Harrison Bodendorf. Digging in is Sam White. He's 0 for 2 on the ball game. Grounded out to Matt Klein at first base and struck out against Isaac Lyon. Lefty-lefty matchup to begin the inning. As Bodendorf, the tall lefty, out of the windup, deals first pitch looked at for strike number 1. White came into the summer playing in his 11th game today. 10 for 32. That's good for a .313 average, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. As the 0-1 pitch taken low in the dirt, count is even at 1-1. Bodendorf making his 5th appearance as the 1-1 pitch fouled straight back into the parking lot behind home plate as White finds himself down on the count 1-2. Bodendorf started back on June 20th against Harwich, but in his last 4 appearances has all been used out of the bullpen for Mike Roberts and company. Bodendorf toes the rubber, deals the 1-2 pitch. White, pop up, just on the outer edge of the infield. Hauling it in is the shortstop, Tyler Cerny. As Sam White is set down for the 3rd time today, and he's the first out in the bottom of the 5th.
A tale of 2 games here for Sam White, who went 2 for 2 in last night's game with a grand slam. Drove in 5 runners, but you were talking about it before the game. Kind of interesting that they put him at the leadoff spot. You would think it's a guy who maybe would bat 3rd, 4th in the order.
First pitch to Bobby Bozer, taken for low for ball 1.
We've seen kind of the Kettleers employ that strategy too, though, with Grant Jay in the leadoff spot the past 3 games. Of course, going back to Ballou in the leadoff spot, more of a speedy on-base guy.
Bozer, the 1-0 pitch taken high and outside for ball 2. So 2-0 is the count here against Bobby Bozer, but you've seen that for the Kettleers, like you mentioned. Grant Jay at the leadoff spot, Tanner Thatch in the 2-hole. Of course, Thatch away from the team currently, but Jay hitting 8th. As the 2-0 pitch waved on and missed by Bozer, count now goes to 2-1. Bozer's currently in the transfer portal. Really gotten off to a hot start this summer. Through 19 games, is hitting .349, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. Picked up the Cape Cod League Hitter of the Week just a few weeks ago in that stretch, Joe. 9 hits, 4 extra base. It's a home run. Walked 4 times, stole 2 bases. Really doing everything for this Gatemen squad. The 3-1 from the lefty Bodendorf to the righty Bozer, taken at the knees for strike 2. So the count runs full here with 1 out in the inning.
Walking out, Bob. Let's go, baby.
This past year at South Florida, he hit .299 in 34 games as the full count pitch laced into left field. Tracking it on the backhand is Brandon Compton, who relays it in quickly as Bobby Bozer reaches for the 2nd time today, as he's now 1 for 2.
Well, Bozer just continues to be on a tear since last Friday. Now 1 for 2 in this ball game. That makes him 10 of his last 17. And extending that hitting streak to 5 games now.
Another player who's been hot at the dish for this Wareham squad, Tristan Gray. He's 1 for 2, but before the first pitch from Bodendorf, a pickoff move, that Bozer's back in standing. Gray hit a double in his last at-bat, that coming in the bottom of the 3rd, also popped up to Jaron Advincula, back in the bottom of the 1st. Bozer takes his lead off first base. The pitch avoids the glove of Grant Jay, goes straight back to the backstop. So taking 2nd is Bobby Bozer on the first pitch to Tristan Gray from Harrison Bodendorf.
Uncharacteristic mistake there from Bodendorf. Has typically been a guy who can come into these ball games as a reliever and throw strikes, really settle things down. Has allowed just 1 earned run so far this season, this being his 5th appearance, but missing the mark there.
Has walked 6 batters in 8 2/3 innings pitched. Big swing and a miss from Gray there. Count is even at 1-1.
Yeah, running into that trouble in his last 2 appearances. A big reason as to why he gave up that first earned run. It was against Chatham.
Gray has a lot of pop, waved on and missed. As the ball goes well low, but Gray swings and misses.
It was actually against this Wareham team. His next appearance at Chatham, his best one of the season, a get-right appearance for him, but 2 innings, 2 hits against these Gatemen back on June 29th.
Threw 49 pitches in that game. 27 strikes. But Bodendorf's found a role coming out of this Kettleer bullpen, a guy that Mike Roberts usually trusts to eat up a lot of innings. And has done that at a high clip so far this summer. Steps back on the rubber, taking a leadoff second is Bozer. The 2-2 on the way to Gray. Long look back from the lefty, kicks and deals. This one line, and gloved by Naraki at the hot corner. His relay throw up the line and into right field as Max Ballou backing up his throw to third base. Not in time, as sliding in safely is Bobby Bozer. So an excellent grab by Nolan Naraki at third, but his throw well off the bag, and now moving up to third is Bozer.
Yeah, they had Bozer dead to rights there at second, right in the middle of the line in between second base and third. And for Naraki there, as Bozer was quickly trying to scamper back to the bag, he's got to just put a better throw on that towards that vincula. He had a bit more time, I think, than he thought he did. Puts it up the line, as you mentioned, into right field, and having to make a really solid stop to not let the next throw get behind him.
Swing away at the first pitch is Reese Chapman, who flares his into center field, gets behind the diving attempt of Charles Davalon. Coming in to score is Bozer, as Reese Chapman laces a 2-out double, and the Gatemen tie the ball game up at 4 here in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, this is an incredibly deep lineup, and it's the best team in the CCBL, and good teams are going to make you pay for the mistakes that you make in the field. And the Kettleers, with just 1 good throw away from escaping this bottom of the 5th inning, it gets away from Nolan Naraki, and then that allows the next run and the tying run for Wareham to come in and score immediately after that with Reese Chapman's RBI double. And so they're just taking advantage of some fielding mistakes by the Kettleers, that being the 3rd error of this ball game.
2 errors on the catcher, Grant Jay, and 1 on Nolan Naraki as the first pitch to the center fielder, Jace Reinhardt, taken at the feet low for ball 1. So Jay with just 2 errors, both committed today. Naraki, his throwing error, his 5th so far this summer. Taking a leadoff second is Chapman, who evened the score with an RBI double. Bodendorf comes home, looked at, count now even at 1-1. Reinhardt, he's 1 for 2 today. Was at the dish when that crazy play came back in the bottom of the 1st as the wild pitch came in and scored Bozer and Chapman. As a big cut there from Reinhardt waves through the 1-1 pitch from Bodendorf as he falls behind in the count 1-2.
Yeah, Reinhardt already 1 for 2 today, looking for that second base knock. Single to lead off the 4th inning, and then he was left stranded on second.
Bodendorf deals the 1-2 pitch, got him swinging. Harrison Bodendorf punches out Jace Reinhardt. It's his first strikeout of the day as Reinhardt goes down on strikes once again, but not before Wareham evens the score at 4 apiece after the RBI double from Reese Chapman. We head to the top of the 6th with Cotuit and Wareham even at 4 apiece here on the
Kettleers baseball clinics are well underway in the summer of 2024, offering boys and girls ages 6 through 17 with the opportunity to learn from some of the most experienced coaches and some of the top college baseball players in the country. With no prior baseball experience necessary, the camps teach kids the fundamentals of baseball, as well as good citizenship, sportsmanship, and character. With just a few weeks of camp left, time is running out. So to sign up, head over to info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. The Again, that's info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. We hope to see you there.
This Saturday, the Kettleers are reuniting the 1995 champions by welcoming the championship-winning team back to Lowell Park. A blast from the past. Several of the players will take batting practice before a pregame ceremony honoring the team, followed by a group first pitch. The Kettleers will take on Chatham, the team Cotuit beat in 1995 for his 13th CCBL title. Join us in welcoming Kettleers history Saturday, July 13th at Lowell Park.
Be a part of historic Lowell Park and support the Cotuit Kettleers by purchasing a paver engraved with your personal message to be placed in the new Walk of Champions. For more information, visit the Cotuit Kettleers website. Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. They offer breakfast and lunch, as well as indoor and outdoor dining. Check out Cape Cod Coffee at one of their 3 locations, on Route 130, at Mashpee Commons, and at Wareham Commons, or on their website at capecodcoffee.com.
Ryan Smythe goes to his bullpen for a second time today as Jacob Faulkner, replacing Sam Mettert, who goes 2 innings, allows 2 hits, 2 runs, both of which earned, walked 2, and struck out 4, while throwing 35 pitches, 21 for strikes. As now it's Faulkner coming in and facing the 9-1-2 hitters in this Kettleer lineup. It's the 7th appearance for Faulkner so far this summer with the Gatemen. He's 1-0. There's a 3.86 ERA. Gone 9 1/3 innings pitched, has allowed 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, walked 3, and struck out 5. Coming off of a dominant year at Princeton Jail.
Yeah, and he's a guy who comes into this game throwing from the sidearm submarine angle way down low. The righty. Kind of a crouched down stance, working primarily from the stretch, and doesn't really have much of a leg kick, just slide steps towards home. Low down, he leans in and then whips his arm around underneath, right around the third base side and nearly touching the dirt.
Righty-lefty matchup here as Faulkner, the first pitch lined off the bat of Advincula. Diving snag by the shortstop Jimenez. Throw from the seat of his pants, not in time. Heck of a stop by Antonio Jimenez just to glove that ball and keep it in the infield. But his strong throw not able to nab Jaron Advincula, who reaches for the second time as he picks up his first hit of the day. He's now 1 for 2.
Yeah, going into that at-bat was 0 for his last 6, and finally getting that base hit. Of course, being 0 for your last 6 as a regular hitter, maybe that's a patch that a lot of guys experience. But for Jaron Advincula, the only player in the CCBL batting at above a 400 clip, 0 for 6 is a lot.
Max Ballou puts the bunt down the first baseline. Fielding it is Nate Early. Going into a head-first dive is Ballou, but Early slaps the tag on Ballou's left shoulder. He's set down for the first out of the inning. Moving up to second is Jaron Advincula, so a successful sacrifice bunt from the Kettleers leadoff hitter.
Yeah, and great hustle there from Max Ballou, trying to make a difference in any way that he can. Started off this ball game, was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts.
Now landing the first pitch for number 18.
But then responding there, a bunt down the first base line, another good bunt. Ballou dialing that in a couple times in these last few games, but just unable to evade the tag of Early.
Now it's the first baseman, Matt Klein. So used to him getting starts behind the dish as he swings away at the first pitch, grounded to the second baseman, Desero. Fields cleanly, his throw in time to nab Matt Klein. Moving up to third base is Jaron Advincula, but there's 2 outs here in the top of the 6th with Devin Taylor digging in.
Yeah, well, he still does a job by advancing the runner to just 90 feet away, but it'll be more 2-out hitting that the Kettleers will have to rely upon here. Of course, Nolan Araki doing that in the 5th inning, driving home 1 on an RBI single and then an RBI ground out by Compton.
Cotuit 2 for 10 today with runners in scoring position as the first pitch from Faulkner backs up Devin Taylor out of the left-handed hitter's batter's box. So the count is 1-0. Taylor today 2 for 3 with a run scored, pair of singles. As Taylor looks at the pitch, gets away from the catcher White, staying put at third base is Advincula, and looked like a ball that White should have gloved down, but is called to strike regardless. Got away from him down that first base line.
Yeah, and a 4-4 ball game, can't have any hesitation. Advincula, if he's going to go there, got to go immediately, and he just doesn't.
1-1 submarine style pitch, chopped straight back into the Kettleers dugout. So Taylor, 1-2, and a nice barehand play.
Yeah, Rob Hughes right at the base of that Kettleers dugout, leaning over the railing. Quick hands.
Faulkner takes a long look in. Comes set, deals the 1-2 pitch to Taylor. Got him swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for Devin Taylor as he's now 2 for 4. As Jacob Faulkner works in and out of trouble after giving up the leadoff single to Jaron Advincula, and then gets Max Ballou on a sac bunt, Matt Klein to ground out, and the strikeout of Devin Taylor. So Cotuit strands their 11th runner on base today as we head to the bottom half of the inning with the Kettleers and Gatemen tied up at 4 here on the Kets Radio Network.
Provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Leading things off here in the bottom of the 6th, it's Antonio Jimenez. Jimenez today 1 for 2. Struck out in his first at-bat against the starter Isaac Lyon, was one of 4 Gatemen to go down on strikes. The first pitch from the lefty Harrison Bodendorf taken for ball number 1. Bodendorf today has gone 1 1/3, thrown 23 pitches as pitch number 23 looked at for a strike. The count is now even at 1-1. But Jimenez picked up a single in his last at-bat, but was stranded on first. That's when Harrison Bodendorf came in and got a fly out to Max Ballou to end the inning against Johan Desero. 2-1 is the count after Jimenez takes the pitch low and outside. Jimenez played this past season at Miami, really struggled, hitting just 182, but announced his transfer destination to UCF. The 2-1 pitch taken outside and low as Jimenez works the count to 3-1 here to open the inning. Bodendorf working out of the windup. Deals the 3-1 pitch. Popped high down the first base line. Camping underneath it is Matt Klein, who makes the grab for the first out. So Antonio Jimenez falls back to 1 for 3 on the day as he's retired for the first out.
Yeah, weak contact there drawn by Harrison Bodendorf. Matt Klein, it was playable for him, nearly overran it, the wind holding it up, and a lot of pop-ups today being impacted by this wind. It was a lot windier pregame when Matt Klein blasted his first home run out of this ballpark, but now it's pretty much settled down.
Lights are on here at Spillane Field as lefty-lefty matchup opens the way in Harrison Bodendorf's favor as he pours in a first pitch strike that's looked at on the outside corner. His 0-1 to Nate Early. Fouled straight back into the fence right in front of the press box. So 2 quick strikes from Bodendorf here against the first baseman, Early. Early today, he's 1 for 2. Singled and was doubled up back in the second. Also struck out in his last at-bat. Hard chopper hit right to Jaron Advincula at second. Field's cleanly throw is in time to nab Early. So 2 quick outs for Harrison Bodendorf to begin the bottom of the 6th.
Kettleers pitching done a nice job against the bottom half of this Wareham order. Just 1 hit given up. It was off the bat of Johan Desero, and he, of course, came around to score on that. It's just been leaving base runners that Cotuit hasn't done a great job of, and holding base runners, as Mike Roberts always mentions. They have not been pitching well to that mark so far, as the same was true in last night's game.
Both of these teams 4 runs on 7 hits. The only difference, Kettleers have made 3 errors so far here in the bottom of the 6th. As the 0-1 pitch to the left fielder, Colby Turner, taken beneath the knees. So the count is even at 1-1. Turner announced this offseason he's transferring to the University of Michigan after a stellar season this past year, as he fouls the next pitch back over the press box, so back into the parking lot, as he falls behind Bodendorf 1-2. Bodendorf looking for a 1-2-3, bottom of the 6th. Deals the 1-2 pitch. High chopper right into the Wareham dugout, right beneath us. So Turner stays alive. The count still remains 1-2. Turner, he's 0 for 2, bouncing to a double play, swings at the next pitch. The 1-2 fouled straight back, so 3 consecutive foul balls off the bat of Colby Turner. As it's a good battle brewing here between him and the lefty Bodendorf.
Yeah, Bodendorf just 1 pitch away from escaping this inning, but of course, as you mentioned, a great battle from Turner, who still searching for that first hit in this ball game, but Bodendorf just trying to get the first 3-up, 3-down inning for the Kettleers in this ball game.
The 6th pitch of the at-bat line straight back up the middle, and that'll get through into center field. So a 6-pitch at-bat goes the way of Colby Turner as he laces a 2-out single. That brings up the 9-man, Johan Desero.
Yeah, another great at-bat by Wareham, and it's just something that they've done incredibly well. They're not easy outs 1 through 9. They're very consistent 1 through 9, and that's something that Roberts has brought up a decent bit in the start to the July that the Kettleers have had 3 and 4 so far in this month, and they need to be more consistent 1 through 9, he says, much like this Gatemen team.
This is a Wareham team that is really playing well as Desero tips the first pitch into the glove of Grant J. So the count is 0-1. Lefty-lefty matchup here, but Wareham, winners of their last 3, really playing good baseball right when it matters most. It's the 0-1 taken high for ball 1. So the count is even at 1-1 here. Desero today 1 for 2. Singled and later came around a score in that bottom of the 3rd after the RBI double from Tristan Gray. Also flew out to Max Ballou against Harrison Bodendorf. Another fly ball. That'll dunk down in front of Ballou in right field. Coming up throwing is Ballou right to the cutoff man, Tyler Cerny. So 2 hits for Johan Desero as the Gatemen have runners on first and second with 2 outs as they head back to the top of their order.
Yeah, now the bottom of this order really stringing things together. Their 5th hit collectively as a unit in the bottom 4. And so that one right there, just getting over the head of Advincula and falling between him and Max Ballou, but we got a chance to see the great arm for Max Ballou in right field, rocketing that one halfway down the third base line towards Nolan Naraki, keeping the runner put at second. So they'll have runners on first and second with 2 gone, and the leadoff man up once more.
Now it's Sam White as Mike Roberts will make the slow trip out to the mound. White today, he's 0 for 3 with a ground out to Matt Klein at first, a strikeout in his last at-bat, or in his second at-bat, and a pop-up to Tyler Cerny to begin at the bottom of the 5th. So it's another mound visit for Mike Roberts. And Joe, what do you think Roberts is talking about with his pitcher out on the bump?
I mean, I think he's just trying to get him to pitch to some contact here, pitch low in the zone, not do anything that he's uncomfortable with, but doing more of what he's done so well, which early on in this inning, it was pitching in at the hands at these left-handed batters and pitching low and outside when he needed to on the off-speed stuff. And right here with a lefty-on-lefty matchup and a guy in Sam White who's had a difficult night at the plate, 0 for 3, I think he's just telling him to settle in, bear down, and trust your defense. And with runners on first and second and 2 outs, you don't really need to pay attention to either of them. And Bodendorf always works primarily from the stretch. So just imagine that you're just trying to get this 1 out here. And Sam White, all you can really do for him is to try to just put in a good AB, and that's what Wareham has been doing all day today.
Big spot here, 2 runners on, 2 outs. Harrison Bodendorf starts out Sam White with a pitch around the knees. That's called for strike number 1. White this past year at West Virginia played in 60 games, hit .305, drove in 42 runs as the 0-1 pitch cut on and missed by White as he falls behind 0-2 here against Bodendorf.
Well, that's exactly what he needed to do, get ahead in the count, then throw a breaking ball that is untouchable for White. And as someone who's, as mentioned, had a tough day at the plate, he goes fishing for it.
Bodendorf comes set, deals the 0-2 pitch high and outside. So the count is 1-2. Jay had to pop out of his crouch to glove it. White hit a grand slam last night back in the 3rd inning. Also said his batting practice wasn't great, his early work wasn't great, but still found success. As this one, a hard chopper off the glove of Cerny, goes right to his hand. His throw pulls Matt Klein off the bag. So Sam White reaches on a crazy play by the Kettleers infield, but the bases are loaded with 2 outs, and Cerny just had that ball eat him up.
Yeah, he got a weird kick off the forehand, but was able to spin and locate the ball, barehanded, and all in the one motion. He's able to find his feet and throw to first. It was just a little bit high, and with Matt Klein playing at first base, it's not the same figure of Tanner Thatch at 6'4" that we've seen play at first. And so that one over his head, he nearly gets the tag on White, but instead he reaches and they're juiced for Bozer.
Bozer swings at the first pitch, fouls it straight back into the fence behind home plate. Bozer today 1 for 2, walked in his first at bat, flew out to Max Ballou in right and singled on his last. Also has scored twice today as Bodendorf, his 0-1 pitch called for strike 2. Bodendorf attacking him low in the zone. Bozer looked at it. So 0-2 is the count here. Bodendorf got the first 2 hitters out to begin this bottom of the 6th, but back-to-back singles. As Bozer hits this one into the right center field gap, tracking it and going all the way back to the fence is Charles Davalon. Makes a deep running grab out to the deepest part of the ballpark in right center field. So Bozer gives it a ride, but he is the 3rd out of the inning as Harrison Bodendorf works in and out of trouble, gets the first 2 guys out, but gives up 3 consecutive singles. As we head it to the top of the 7th with Cotuit and Wareham still even at 4, but before we do, we'll bring on the 3rd member of our team, Adele Huffman, who has more.
Thanks, Alex. Yes, as we spoiled earlier on, we're going to talk about everyone's favorite pregame songs, and some of them are a little surprising, but what's a ball game without music? So I spoke to some of our players, and listen up, Joe and Alex, because I want to know what you guys would have chosen after hearing this list. So we've got Luke Hansen with Dark Horse by Katy Perry to get him ready for games. We've got Max Ballou with Me and You. We've got assistant coach Kesselring with Mr. Saxo Beats. We've got Jaron and Timo sharing Missing You by Trey Songz. And we've got Brandon Compton. He just enjoys Drake. And this was a personal favorite, I've got to say. James Ellwanger with Careless Whisper, which was immediately agreed upon by Grant J. And, you know, then I just started thinking about James Ellwanger and Grant J sharing some AirPods, listening to Careless Whisper, coming to games, and yeah, it just made me happy. So what about you guys? If you guys were out there right now, well, even for a broadcast, what are you listening to on the ride up?
I'm curious, Joe.
I know you're a big country music guy.
Yeah, we do have different music tastes. My music taste is also different depending on moments. So although I do like country music, so I'd probably have to say something by Luke Combs.
Yeah.
Before a broadcast, usually I like more rap, more Drake. So it does vary from time to time.
Joe?
Get locked in for a game? I don't know. Careless Whisper is a good one. Maybe a classic rock, something. I'm not sure. I mean,
Indiana.
Growing up, getting ready for games, the songs were always played for you. You know,
True.
you didn't really get to choose them.
So
So if you're going into a college tennis match, which you played for 4 years, what are you listening to?
I like really, I really just like the oldies. I mean, some
Yeah.
Jesse's Girl, you know,
It's a
maybe
good one.
some
Stacy's Mom.
Stacy's Mom. Yeah, all good ones, Joe. Well, we'll throw it back to you two for the rest of the game.
Thanks so much, Adele. The 0-1 pitch to Tyler Cerny. Fouled out of play. So he's now down on the count 0-2 against Jacob Faulkner. Some excellent song choices there by the Kettleers. Definitely something that we have to revisit and talk to more of the guys about as the year progresses. Faulkner deals the 0-2 pitch. Cerny, high chopper, right to the hot corner. Fielding it is Tristan Gray. His throw in time to nab Cerny for the first out here, as Jacob Faulkner has retired the last 4 hitters he's faced after coming out of Wareham's bullpen.
You know, part of what likely gets overlooked by this Wareham team is the great infield and outfield that they play. It's a team that does not give up too many unearned runs, of course, the fewest in the CCBL. And so for them to play a really solid defense and strong infield today, it doesn't allow the Kettleers to break into some of that small ball that we see them like to employ. And so today, just credit Wareham for playing great defense.
First pitch to Charles Davila. The lefty takes well outside and low. We've seen on the flip side, the Kettleers defense really struggle as they've committed 3 errors so far tonight. As Davila swings away at the 1-0 pitch, hits this one hard on a line straight to the left fielder, Colby Turner, who makes the catch, loses his hat in the process. But quickly, there's 2 gone here in the 7th.
Another hard hit ball by Charles Davila, and he's someone we've kind of seen showcase the power to all sides of the field. That is second line drive out to left field today, but a guy who hit the home run in his first game started for the Kettleers, or first appearances at the plate, and put it over the right field wall, but someone who has been making very strong contact in seemingly every plate appearance.
Now it's Nolan Araki, another guy who's made a lot of hard contact. Takes the first pitch at the knees for strike number 1. He's 2 for 2 today. Walked in his first at-bat, hit an RBI double back in the 3rd, and hit an RBI single in the 5th. So 2 RBIs for the Kettleers' third baseman. As the 0-1 pitch, taken low and in tight. So the count is even at 1-1 here. Araki played this past season at Clemson, had a limited role with the Tigers, then announced he will enter the transfer portal, quickly found a new home at South Carolina. The 1-1 pitch, Araki lofts a high twisting foul ball out of play down the first base line. So Faulkner's done a good job throwing strikes, 15 pitches so far, 12 strikes through an inning and 2/3. The righty comes set, deals the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, he got him. Nolan Araki down on strikes as Jacob Faulkner works a 1-2-3 top of the 7th after a ground out by Tyler Cerny, a hard line out by Charles Davila, and the strikeout of Nolan Araki. We head to the bottom half of the 7th with the Kettleers and Wareham tied up at 4 apiece here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
With 30-plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Willow Bend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willow Bend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at Willow Bend.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Basic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
2-8-9-3.
The seventh inning stretch has come and go here at Spillane Field. The Wareham Gatemen and the Cotuit Kettleers even at 4 apiece between a battle of two of the top teams in the Cape Cod Summer Baseball League and two West Division foes. Cotuit coming into today with a 12-8 record. Wareham 14-5-1. They sit atop the West Division. But it's been a good battle here so far. As Cam Schulke comes on a relief, he replaces Harrison Bodendorf and faces Tristan Gray, who hits a high towering fly ball into the left center field. Gap back gets down. Fielding it is Brandon Compton. His relay throw not in time, as Tristan Gray has smacked his second double of the day, as he's now 2 for 4, and Wareham has a runner in scoring position to begin the inning.
Yeah, he jumps all over that first pitch from Cam Schulke, floated out over the plate, and just rocketed into the left center field alleyway. Don't want to let Cam Schulke get too comfortable like he was his last time out in the bottom of the 9th inning against Hyannis, and then, of course, the bottom of the 10th inning against Hyannis. 6 up, 6 down with 4 strikeouts, and that is first hit allowed since July 2nd against Orleans.
Second time he's faced the Gatemen this summer is it's the lefty Reese Chapman. High hard line drive over our heads. As Chapman swing away at the first pitch, count is 0-1. Chapman today, he's 1 for 2. Reached on a catcher's interference by Grant J. Back in the bottom of the first, a ground out and a double for the Wareham right fielder. High looping breaking ball waved on and missed by Chapman, as he's now down on the count 0-2. Schulke pitched back against Wareham on June 29th, picked up the save in that game, as 2 saves this summer. Gray takes a leadoff second. Schulke a long look back. His 0-2 pitch. Sidearm backs up the lefty Reese Chapman. So 1-2 is the count here. In that game against Wareham, went an inning, walked a batter, and struck out 2. Got into a long battle with Antonio Jimenez. As going down on strikes is Reese Chapman. As Cam Schulke gets him to chase on a pitch low in the zone. So Chapman set down on strikes for the first time today. He's the first out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, Schulke going over the top there from the 3/4 angles, going to the slider low and outside, and out of the reach of Reese Chapman, who strikes out, in a much-needed strikeout for Cam Schulke and the Kettleers to get that all-important first out of this bottom of the 7th. Keep the score at 4-4.
Now it's Chase Reinhardt digging in for his 4th at-bat today. Takes the first pitch from Schulke well outside. Righty-righty matchup here. As Reinhardt, pair of strikeouts in between that, a single to lead off the bottom of the 4th. The 1-0 pitch. Reinhardt checks his swing. He does go around, so the count is even at 1-1. The inside pitch from Schulke. Reinhardt's been prone to the strikeouts this summer, has struck out 23 times through 19 games. Schulke, glove set at his belt. Long look in, deals. The 1-1 pitch, glove down by Grant J. Is really nice athletic stop by Jay, keeping Tristan Gray over there at second.
Yeah, Jay reaching all the way over to the left-hand batter's box just to get a piece of that one, and backhands it well to keep it in front, keeping that runner on second.
The 2-1 pitch, high and outside. Reinhardt thought about swinging, but checks. So he lays off. 3-1 is the count here. The third batter Schulke's faced after coming out of the bullpen. Tristan Gray led off this inning with a double. He stands on second. Holding him on is Jaron Advincula. Schulke looks at him. The 3-1 pitch taken beneath the knees, as it's a 5-pitch walk to Jace Reinhardt, as Wareham has runners on first and second, still with 1 out.
No batting in shortstop, number 14, Antonio Jimenez from UCF.
Out to shortstop Antonio Jimenez. Jimenez today 1 for 3, also with a strikeout, a single, and a pop-up. But comes up here in a big spot with runners on first and second, 1 out. Schulke goes overhead, deals a first pitch strike that's looked at by Jimenez. Not the first time these two have squared off this summer. Schulke struck out Jimenez to end the contest back on the 29th. As Jimenez hits this one, that'll get through into right field. Getting the wave around from third is Gray. Blues throw home a dime, but not in time, as Tristan Gray crosses the plate standing, as it's a go-ahead RBI single by Antonio Jimenez, as Wareham leads 5-4.
What a great day at the plate for Antonio Jimenez, improving to 2 for 4 and knocking in the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And that is more than good enough for his 7th RBIs of the summer. And boy, on a tear that he has been on to start out, or to respond after a slow start in this summer. But Jimenez putting the Gatemen in front here, and Schulke having to work his way out of this 7th inning.
Now it's Nate Early, the first pitch to the lefty, taken for ball number 1. Such a big hit for Antonio Jimenez, who struggled this past season at Miami, hitting just 182 in 45 games. Of course, is transferring to UCF, as the 1-0 pitch backs up the lefty Early, as Shea now will walk out to the mound after corralling another low pitch from Cam Schulke. As Conference out on the mound, is Shea doing a nice job slowing the pace down here and making sure him and his pitcher are on the same wavelength.
Yeah, it's interesting or important to note that today Grant Jay not using the pitch comm, just doing it the old-fashioned way with signs in between his legs. Schulke having to look in, shake him off a few times, so maybe those two not entirely in sync, but Grant Jay with somebody in his ear, so you have to assume that somebody is relaying those pitches to him through an earpiece from the Kettleers bullpen. It looks like that's Rob Hughes, an assistant coach, calling the pitches.
2 runners are on base, runners on first and second. 2-0 is the count to the first baseman, Nate Early. The 2-0 pitch taken at the knees for ball 3. So not the spot that Cam Schulke wants to be in. 2 runners on base, just 1 out, and down on the count 3-0. The 3-0 pitch to Early, taken for ball 4, as he works a 4-pitch walk, and the bases are loaded on the second free pass issued by Cam Schulke here in the inning. Now it's Colby Turner, the left fielder who bats 8th in this Gatemen lineup, as the Kettleers will bring in their infield here. So bases are loaded, 1 out against Turner. Schulke goes overhead. The first pitch to him, lofted down the first base line and in foul territory. Klein didn't get a good beat on it as he lets it fall. So 0-1 is the count here against Turner. Schulke so far has thrown 17 pitches, gotten just 1 out. That came on the strikeout of Reese Chapman. 8 strikes. Pitch 18, cut on and missed by Turner, as he's now down on the count 0-2. Wareham today hitting 3 for 13 with runners in scoring position. They've left 7 guys on base here, but 1 hit could really break open this ball game as they have a 5-4 lead. The 0-2 pitch chopped slowly down to the third baseline, fielded by Schulke. He comes home for 1, and it's in time. What a play by Cam Schulke, cutting off Nolan Araki on a slow chopper hit right down the third baseline as he goes home with it, cutting down Jace Reinhardt. So reaching is Turner. The bases remain loaded, but the Kettleers pick up an ultra-important second out.
Yeah, an athletic play there from Cam Schulke, who had to kind of hop behind the runner going down towards home plate down the third base line, and Schulke throwing on kind of a Jeter hop, as just mentioned, and Grant Jay having to stretch a little bit, but boy, what an athletic play there from Cam Schulke to get the second out.
Pitchers are athletes too, and Cam Schulke reminds everyone of that, as the first pitch to Johan Desero taken for a called strike number 1.
I mean, to throw the way he does, you got to be an athlete, someone who can dip down and pretty much any arm angle from the right side.
The 0-1 pitch to Desero, taken high and in tight to the lefty second baseman. He's having a really productive day at the dish. 2 for 3, also has scored a run, swiped a base. Hitting .310 at the bottom of this Wareham lineup as Desero hits this one into slow center field. Coming on is the center fielder Charles Davalon, who makes the play, but not before Wareham takes a 5-4 lead after an RBI single from Antonio Jimenez, but Cam Schulke works in and out of trouble, stranding the bases loaded as we head to the top of the 8th. with the Gatemen leading the Kettleers 5-4 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
The Cape Cod League All-Star Game is just a few weeks away. Cheer on your favorite Kettleers as they square off with some of the best players on the Cape. This year's game will be played in Falmouth on July 27th. The gates open up at 1:30 p.m. ahead of the 6 o'clock first pitch. All-Star Game tickets can be found at www.capecodleague.com/all-star-game. Or you can find out more information about the tickets at the Kettleers store.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Top of the 8th here at Spillane Field. Wareham currently leads the Kettleers 5-4 after they scored a run on the RBI single by Antonio Jimenez just a half inning ago, as it's 7-8-9 for the Kettleers here to begin the top of the 8th against a new pitcher for the Gatemen. Anthony Susak comes in relief of Jacob Faulkner, as Faulkner goes 2 innings, allows just 1 hit. No runs, did not walk a batter, and struck out 2.
Now batting the left fielder, the return, Brandon.
So Susak, the righty, pitching in his 7th game this summer for the Gatemen, has a 1.74 ERA. Also has picked up 2 saves. Has worked 10.1 innings pitched this year, allowed 10 hits. 3 runs, 2 earned. Has allowed a home run, walked 4, and struck out 18 in those 10 1/3 innings pitched.
Big Susak. Senor Sus, vamos away.
Stepping into the batter's box is the left fielder and lefty Brandon Compton. Compton, he's 0 for 2 tonight, reached on a walk in his first plate appearance. And a ground out and also reached on a fielder's choice at coming back in the 5th. So Susak, the righty, toes the rubber. Glove set beneath his face. Now comes home. The first pitch cut on and missed by Compton. Susak played this past year at Arizona. His 3rd season with the Wildcats. He's had a 2-2 record with a 6.59 ERA. As the 0-1 pitch, he peeled down a third. Compton did not go. That pitch was taken low and well outside. So the count is at even at 1-1 here.
Both ways.
Compton hitting .234 this summer, does have an RBI today. As the 1-1 pitch taken on the outside corner for strike 2. Susak, big high strikeout guy, has had 18 this summer as the 1-2 pitch to Compton spiked in the dirt, kept in front by Sam White, who goes stumbling back into the home plate umpire Dave Snyder. So the count even at 2-2. The Kettleers left fielder looking to spark a rally. Cotuit with 7 hits, 4 runs. Wareham 11 hits, 5 runs. Cotuit's also committed 4 errors. That really being the difference in the game today, as the Gatemen have yet to commit a fielding mistake. The 2-2 pitch to Compton, taken low in the dirt. The appeal down to third. Compton did not go around. Third base umpire Dan Boomhauer said that Compton did not go around. So the count runs full here to begin the inning. Susak, the righty, takes a long look in. Now kicks and deals the 3-2 pitch to Compton, taken well outside for ball 4. So it's a 6-pitch walk for Brandon Compton as he reaches for the third time today to begin the inning.
Yeah, great at bat there. It's exactly what the Kettleers needed, a base runner to start off this inning. That's all you can do after giving up a run in the bottom half of that 7th. It's a put-away inning for the Gatemen, but for the Kettleers, they need to try to come back in this ball game. Not something that they've done particularly well in the past few games and in this month of July, but another opportunity to do it here at Spillane Field.
Did have that comeback victory against Hyannis, the 7-4 victory over the Harbor Hawks. Cotuit will play them tomorrow as the first pitch to Grant Jay, waved on and missed on a pitch that was low in the zone. Jay's had a tough day at the dish so far. He's 0 for 3 with 3 swinging strikeouts.
Come here, fence.
Taking a lead off first is Compton. Susak, the righty, out of the stretch. Jay squares around a bunt now, pulls back. As the pitch taken low and outside, count is even at 1-1.
Respect it. Green runner.
Jay, 25 strikeouts this summer and 44 at-bats. That's something he's really worked on with Mike Roberts, eliminating those punch-outs. But still a work in progress here as he's coming up in a big spot. He represents the go-ahead run. Jay squares around a bunt, now pulls back. It's called a strike as the count goes to 1-2. Jaron Advincula stands in the on-deck circle. He's 1 for 2 today, reached twice. Worked a walk and singled in his last at-bat, that coming back in the 6th. Compton a short lead off first. Susak, the righty, deals to Jay, taken beneath the knees. Count even at 2-2.
Another 2-strike count faced by Grant Jay. Someone who's gotten backed up in the lineup down to the 8th spot and is really trying to figure out how to cut down on those punch-outs.
Jay's at the top of this Cotuit order the last few games, but hitting 8th today. As the 2-2 pitch, Jay goes on the appeal down to first base, but Grant Jay is rung up on strikes for the 4th time today. He's retired as the first out in the inning.
It's another Gateman strikeout brought to you by the law.
Yeah, just another tough day at the plate for Grant Jay, who just seems a little bit uncertain up there. We've seen him up there a couple of times with half-hearted swings, check swings. His last time out, the only ball that he's put in play today was a weak chopper right back up the middle on a checked swing. So for Grant Jay to be able to get more comfortable in the box, it seems like he just needs to get one of those big at-bats, get one of those long balls, a big double, which he had a couple games ago and seemed like he was pulling himself out of that rough stretch. But now he's going to have to figure out a way to do it again.
Now it's Jaron Advincula who laces a pitch into left field, splits the third baseman and shortstop Jimenez. As the ball gets away from the left fielder Turner, moving up to third is Compton, sliding in safely with a head-first dive is Jaron Advincula into second base, and really heads-up base running by the Kettleers after Colby Turner bobbled that ball out in left field, just got away from him.
And it did, and as the throw was coming in, Advincula with a head-first slide. Of course, it's the stone dust here at Spillane Field, and he just has a face full of stone dust right now. Advincula maybe sliding a bit too early or sliding. The dirt not being as slick as he thought it was going to be. He kind of went feet over. Is that right to say? I mean, it's not head over heels there. His feet kind of came and wrapped around, and he almost did a backwards somersault, just burying his face into the stone dust there. So he has to take an extra second, wipe off his face. Coach Will Thompson was out there to talk with him, make sure he's all right. Thompson hustling back to the Kettleers dugout now, trying to just grab maybe a small towel for Advincula, who just roped another hit on the season, and that's a great aggressiveness at the plate that we've seen from Advincula in all of the games that he's played so far this year. But to be aggressive in the count and attack the first pitch and put it through the left side of the infield, as you just mentioned, Alex, it's great to see. And now taking advantage of an infield or an outfield mistake, they have a chance here with one swing of the bat that could put them ahead in this ball game 6-5.
So it's another single for Advincula, another multi-hit game for the Kettleers star second baseman. He's now 2 for 3. But it's a single for him and an error committed by Colby Turner. Wareham's first error of the ball game. Cotuit's committed 4, but now dangerous spot as there's a mound visit. Talking things over with Anthony Susak, who came out of the bullpen, walked Brandon Compton, got the strikeout of Grant J, and the single to Jaron Advincula. But it's Max Ballou. He's having a long conversation with Mike Roberts. Just out of the left-hand batter's box.
Yeah, and might as well, as the other team taking their time out, might as well talk things over. And we'll see. 1 out in this inning, Alex. You think we haven't seen too much small ball, or maybe not as much as Mike Roberts would like, but right here could be a golden opportunity for someone in Max Ballou who's been really effective in laying down the bunts.
Laid one down in his last at-bat was a sacrifice bunt that moved over Jaron Advincula. But Advincula was stranded at third, coming back in the top of the 6th. But other than that sac bunt by Ballou, he's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, 2 swinging, 1 looking. So a tough day at the dish for the Texas Slugger, but looking to make an impact with runners in second and third and the Kettleers trailing by 1. The first pitch from Susak, taken well outside to the lefty Ballou.
Come big conk. Come big, babe. Love it, Tonk. Love it, babe.
1-0 is the count here. Susak, a long look in, glove set at his belt, now raises it just beneath his face. The 1-0 to Ballou. Waved on and missed as the count even at 1-1. Ballou.
No bunt here for Ballou, but a good opportunity with 2 runners in scoring position.
Ballou has struggled since coming back from Team USA. Did have a 2 RBI single against Bourne. The count is even at 1-1. Swing away, lofting a high, towering pop-up over the school as Ballou falls behind the count 1-2. Susak, 18 strikeouts through his first 6 appearances. Picked up 19 against Grant J, looking for 20 here against Max Ballou. A long look in. Susak ready. Pitch clock reads 4. Deals when it reads 2 as the 1-2 pitch runs high and in tight. That clips Max Ballou as it hit off the catcher, Sam White, but it's a hit by pitch for Max Ballou as the bags are now loaded for Matt Klein.
Yeah, second time today that the Kettleers will load the bases, and now the home plate umpire will step out in front of the mound, having a quick conversation with Ryan Smythe, who is just on the outside of the Wareham dugout, but it looks like they'll talk things over here. It didn't sound like it made any contact with the bat. Of course, we're a bit further away from home plate than we normally are on the road. But that time of there, it looked like he kind of clipped his hands close to his chest. The bat was kind of by its wayside to the left, and we'll get a ruling. It looks like the call will stand. But for Ballou, he'll take a base in any way that he can. Kind of a difficult day at the plate for him early on, and then the sacrifice bunt, and now the hit by pitch. So even though it has been a tough day for him and batting in key moments and not being able to get too many base knocks, he's still making a difference. So as you say, you know, he has maybe struggled a bit since returning from the Team USA roster. He is making a difference today, and that's really what you need to do when you're batting in the cleanups or in the leadoff spot.
Now it's Matt Klein, who comes up in a dangerous spot, already blasted his first home run this summer. That made the game 2-1 Wareham, back in the top of the 3rd, but bases are loaded, 1 out. Compton leads off 3rd, Advincula off 2nd, Ballou off 1st. Susak takes a look around the infield, now steps back on the rubber. Glove set at his belt. Gets the sign from his catcher, White. Now comes home to the first pitch to Klein, who hits this deep into the outfield. Tracking underneath it is the center fielder, Reinhardt. Makes the catch, tagging from 3rd is Compton. The throw to the plate, up the line. The catcher, White, fields cleanly. Advancing to 3rd is Jaron Advincula. So Matt Klein ties the game with his 2nd RBI today on a sac fly to straightaway center field. And Cotuit and Wareham even at 5 here in the top of the 8th.
Yeah, just doing a job. And how many times have we said it in key moments this year, not trying to do too much, knowing the task at hand, which is just trying to bring that one run home from third. And all you need to do with one out in the inning is put something into the outfield or a hard hit on the ground to one of the middle infielders. But that's a great plate appearance for Matt Klein, who only needs one pitch to see before tying up this ball game. And another great day at the plate for him, and also in the field in a new role.
The Kettleers doing something they couldn't do back in the second inning, loaded the bases with no out, but Grant Jay struck out, Jaron Advincula flew out, and Max Ballou struck out. But they tack on a run here in the top of the 8th to even the score at 5. Now it's Devin Taylor. Big cut on and miss from the first pitch from Susak. As he goes down on the count 0-1.
Yeah, kind of the opposite for Devin Taylor, who had a difficult day, or had a great day at the plate to start 2 for 2, and then back-to-back strikeouts.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Joe. The 0-1 pitch from Susak, taken beneath the knees for strike 2. Taylor disagreed with the call, shook his head, but he's down 0-2.
Yeah, that's a tough call to make, and Devin Taylor, who normally has a great eye up at the plate, didn't even think about swinging at that ball.
Susak working out of the stretch here. Taking off for second is Max Ballou. He's caught in a rundown. Dancing off third base is Advincula. Advincula racing for home. The throw up the line. Advincula slides in safely on the throw from Nate Early. Moving up to third is Max Ballou. He'll take the turnaround, but put on the brakes as it's a throwing miscue from Nate Early that gives Cotuit a 6-5 lead here in the top of the 8th.
Well, this is a play that Mike Roberts clearly had dialed up. You got 2 outs in the inning, runners on the corners. The runner on first decides to take off, but he knows he's going to get caught in a rundown. Great communication from the Wareham infield to immediately alert Susak, but then getting caught in the rundown, and then Advincula, who is creeping up the third base line. As soon as the ball went back to the first baseman Early, Advincula took off and scores the go-ahead 6th run of this ball game for the Cats. And now another one.
Now the pitch gets away. Coming in is Ballou. He will stand in safely. So the Kettleers take a 7-5 advantage after the wild pitch from Anthony Susak. And quickly things are unraveling for Wareham in this top of the 8th. Cotuit has put up a 3 spot and now leads 7-5.
Well, the Kettleers executed that play perfectly. Ballou not getting caught. He's going to go back to first, being run back by Antonio Jimenez. And then immediately, once that ball went back to first, Advincula takes off, and just perfect execution to score that run, and not enough time to get the out.
The 1-2 pitch hit on a rope right to the first baseman, Early, who takes it to the bag himself to retire Devin Taylor, but not before. Cotuit, with some small ball, makes magic happen out on the base pass. It was a leadoff walk by Brandon Compton. He moved up after the single by Jaron Advincula. Max Ballou was hit by a pitch, and then all things broke free as Matt Klein, he hit an RBI sac fly to tie up the game at 5, and then coming in to score was Jaron Advincula on the throwing miscue from Nate Early, and Max Ballou comes in to score off the wild pitch. We head to the bottom of the 8th with the Kettleers leading 7-5 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
The Cape Cod League All-Star Game is just a few weeks away. Cheer on your favorite Kettleers as they square off with some of the best players on the Cape. This year's game will be played in Falmouth on July 27th. The gates open up at 1:30 p.m. ahead of the 6 o'clock first pitch. All-Star Game tickets can be found at www.capecodleague.com/All-Star Game, or you can find out more information about the tickets at the Kettleers store.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Sam White
It's a brand new ball game here at Spillane Field. Cotuit puts up 3 runs in the top of the 8th as they now lead 7-5 over the Wareham Gatemen. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by Joe Pratt and Adele Huffman, taking you through this West Division battle between two of the top teams in the division. Sam White swings away at the first pitch from Cam Schulke. White leading off this inning. He's 0 for 4 today, did reach on an error. As the 0-1 pitch to White on the inside corner, taken for ball 1, the count even at 1-1. Four errors by the Kettleers defense, 2 last inning by Wareham's. It's a hard line drive, hits off the net right down the third base line. So Sam White getting a good piece of wood on it, but just can't keep it straight. Nolan Naraki flipping that ball into a crowd to a lucky fan. So he goes home with a souvenir.
Thumbs up from Naraki.
The 1-2 from Schulke to White. This one hit on the ground to the first baseman Klein. Fields it, makes the underhand flip to Schulke, covering the first base bag in time for out number 1. So a good job by Cam Schulke to retire Sam White for the 5th time today.
Yeah, it was this top of the order for Wareham to get things going at the start of the game. It was some small ball advancing on wild pitches, taking advantage of mistakes, and the Kettleers giving them a taste of their own medicine before leaving town.
Colby Turner with a fielding error in left field, and Nate Early with a throwing miscue that allowed Jaron Advincula to come in and score. After Max Ballou got caught in a rundown, Advincula was the go-ahead run. Ballou later came around to score off of a wild pitch as the first pitch to the DH Bobby Bozer, taken inside for ball 1. Righty-righty matchup here, and Bozer's had a good day at the dish so far. 1 for 3, 2 runs, also reached via the walk. As Schulke trying to paint the inside corner, pushes it too far inside as Bozer takes low. Schulke, this is his 2nd inning of relief. Big cut on and miss by Bozer. Count still is 2-1. Schulke, 29 pitches so far, 16 strikes. Through an inning and a third, has struck out a batter. But he comes set, glove at his belt. Sidearm release, big cut on and miss there, pulling the strings on Bozer as he works back in the count from 2-0 to even at 2-2. Bozer's meant so much to this Wareham team so far. Hitting .348, he's 1 for 3 today. As fouling a pitch straight back into the fence, right in front of the press box. Bozer hitting .348, does have an OPS above 1,000, the only player on this Wareham squad to do so, although Sam White is close at .927. The 2-2 from Schulke once again, got him looking. Cam Schulke paints the strike zone there as Bobby Bozer set down on strikes. It's Schulke's 2nd strikeout of the contest, and quickly there's 2 gone.
Schulke was going for that outer quadrant in the first 2 pitches of the at-bat. The next 2, both on the outer edge. And going back to it there, pretty far outside and untouchable for Bobby Bozer, who just watches it go by and immediately spun away. He knew that was strike 3.
Now it's Tristan Gray, the 3-hitter for Wareham. First pitch to him taken for strike number 1. The count is 0-1. Gray's had a really good day at the dish. He's 2 for 4 with a pair of doubles. His 3rd and 4th doubles so far this summer. Gray hitting .314, does have an RBI. This one hit right back up the middle. Cerny gives it a run, but that'll evade his glove as it goes into center field. So Tristan Gray extends the inning with another 2-out base knock. He's now 3 for 5.
And the Gatemen have put a runner on base in each of these 8 innings in this ball game today. That one being another hit for the Gatemen and more great 2-out hitting from them, and Cam Schulke dealing with a runner on base in back-to-back innings. Doesn't have to pay any attention to him, though. It's just Reese Chapman at the plate, who has already knocked an RBI double today.
Pickoff move. Gray back in with a head first slide safely. Wareham today, 12 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors. They've had a hit in each inning except for the first. And they came around and scored 2. First pitch to Chapman looked at for strike number 1. So Schulke gets ahead of the right fielder here, who's 1 for 3. A double, a strikeout. Also has an RBI. Another pickoff move. Gray back in safely after a dive. Getting the blue jersey and white pants dirty. So take 2 pickoff moves for Schulke here and another one. Snap throw. Gray back in time. Klein doesn't even attempt to put the tag on.
Go, Reese. Hey, vigilance witness. Go, Reese.
So Schulke keeping a close eye on Gray, who leads off first. Cotuit leads 7-5. Next pitch to Chapman. That'll get through into left field. That splits the left side of the Kettleers defense. So back-to-back 2-out base knocks for the Gatemen, as it's runners on first and second with Jace Reinhardt digging in.
Center fielder, number 20, Jace Reinhardt, West Virginia.
It's the 3rd time today that Wareham has been able to string together 2+ hits. And with 2 gone in this 8th inning, they're really making Schulke work for this 3rd and final out. But Cotuit trying to protect that 7-5 lead. So Wareham being difficult outs as always, hard to put away. And we're seeing it right here.
Lofting the first pitch high into straightaway center field is Jace Reinhardt. Long run, it's hauled in by the shortstop, Tyler Cerny. As Charles Davalon, Jaron Advincula, and Tyler Cerny were all converging on that baseball, but it's Cerny, the shortstop, who makes the grab as Schulke gets the first 2 batters out of the inning, but gives up back-to-back 2-out singles to Tristan Gray and Reese Chapman, but strands both of them after the pop-up to Tyler Cerny. As we head to the top of the 9th here at Spillane Field, the Kettleers lead the Gatemen 7-5. Stay tuned for an exciting finish here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Love it, baby. Hold him here.
Willow Bend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willow Bend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at Willow Bend.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
With 30+ years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
Top of the 9th here at Spillane Field. The Kettleers lead the Gatemen 7-5. Cotuit scored 3 runs in the top of the 8th as Cam Schulke worked in and out of trouble. Got 2 quick outs of Sam White and Bobby Bozer, but back-to-back singles from Tristan Gray and Reese Chapman. But he got Jace Reinhardt to pop up to Tyler Cerny to end the inning, as it is the aforementioned Tyler Cerny digging in to lead things off against the new arm, Zane Coopersmith, who comes in relief of Anthony Susak, who goes an inning, allows just 1 hit, 3 runs all earned, walked the batter, and struck out 1. As it's the righty Cooper Smith working on the righty Cerny. Blows a fastball by him as Cerny's down on the count 0-2. Cerny today 0 for 3. Has scored a run, reached via the walk. That came back in the 5th inning, the 2-run 5th inning for the Kettleers. As Cerny swings away at the 0-2 pitch, high towering pop-up that goes overhead of the grandstand down the first base line. The one just to the right of the press box.
The righty with just 1 inning pitched so far this season, 1 game. Allowed just 1 hit and 4 batters faced.
The 0-2 pitch to Cerny, taken low in the dirt. So the count goes to 1-2.
Was in the back of Stetson's bullpen this season in the spring, a 1.82 ERA in just under 30 innings. Was able to notch 3 saves, but this, of course, not being a save situation, down 2.
The 1-2 pitch, belted deep left field. Turner backing up, making the leaping grab. So Tyler Cerny hits a rocket off of his bat, but it's just a long fly ball to begin this top of the 9th.
Well, another ball that's just scorched off the bat of Tyler Cerny. Today at the plate hasn't been one of those days where he's been making too many loud outs, but we've seen it so much so far this summer. Him hitting it on a line, steaming line drives, but right to the left fielder, right to the center fielder, and right fielders. And Tyler Cerny, another frustrating day at the plate.
Now it's Charles Davila, the first pitch from Cooper Smith. Swung at well high out of the zone. Davilan's another guy who's hit the ball hard today. Had an RBI double yesterday. In the loss as the 0-1 pitch to Davilan. Line straight back into the fence in front of the press box, so quickly 2 strikes to the Kettleers center fielder. But Davilan today, he's 1 for 3. Reached on a hit by pitch in his first at-bat, also singled and later came around to score back in the 5th. As the 0-2 pitch from Cooper Smith backs up the lefty Davilan. 1-2 is the count here. Cooper Smith looking to work a quick inning here and get these Wareham bats back into the batter's box as the 1-2 pitch spiked in the dirt, kept in front by Sam White. But the count is even at 2-2.
Yeah, Cooper Smith missing the mark low there. Got ahead in the count on Tyler Cerny as well. And as you mentioned, another guy who has put a charge into a couple baseballs today. That's what Davilan's looking for here at 2-2.
The 2-2 pitch. High towering pop-up down the left field line, but that'll reach right in front of the high school, so just a long fly ball for Charles Davilan. Fly ball hitting the pavement and ricocheting off the school. The count remains at 2-2, a long battle working here between Davilan and Cooper Smith. As the righty comes home, the 2-2 pitch got him swinging. Charles Davilan goes down on strikes as Zane Cooper Smith comes out of the bullpen and gets 2 quick outs to begin this top of the 9th.
Yeah, Cooper Smith's first strikeout of the summer, working into his 2nd inning of work, and 2 up, 2 down quickly here. But Nolan Naraki had a great day at the plate so far, as 2 for 3, an RBI double, an RBI single. And he has been a massive difference in the Kettleers being up 7-5 in this ball game.
Naraki has gone through ups and downs at the dish. Started off really hot, 4 for 8 in his first 2 games as the first pitch from Cooper Smith. Taken low and outside. So the count is 1-0 to the Kettleers third baseman, but started off 4 for 8 in his first 2 games. He went through a 2 for 22 stretch. This one's blasted deep center field. On the run is Chase Reinhardt. He will make the grab just a couple of steps in front of the center field wall. So Nolan Naraki gave it a ride, but it's just a long fly ball. As Tyler Cerny flies out to left field, Charles Davilan goes down on strikes, and Naraki flies out to deep center field. So it's a 1-2-3 top of the 9th for Zane Cooper Smith as we head to the bottom of the 9th with Cotuit leading Wareham 7-5 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
7-5-2.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
Gabriel Nard comes out of relief and is looking to shut down this Wareham Gatemen lineup in the bottom of the ninth as Cam Schulke goes 2 innings, allows 4 hits. 1 run that was earned, walked 2, and struck out 2. But the Kettleers scoring 3 in the top of the 8th, looking to hold on and pick up another comeback victory for what would be win number 13 this summer. But it's the 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up for the Gatemen, and leading things off is Antonio Jimenez, who's 2 for 4, had an RBI single back in his last at-bat, that coming in the bottom of the 7th. Gave the Gatemen a 5-4 advantage, but quickly Cotuit responded with 3 of their own. Jimenez swings away at the first pitch, fouls it just off of his back leg. That goes down the first base line right in front of the Kettleers' visiting dugout. Nard this summer, 2-1 record, 6 ERA, has made 4 appearances as Jimenez swings again, fouls it straight back, so quickly he's down on the count 0-2. Second opportunity for Gabriel Nard to pick up a save here. Blew a save back against YD on June 18th where he gave up 3 runs in 2/3 of an inning. As the 0-2 pitch painted on the outside corner, Jimenez takes low. So 1-2 is the count here. Jimenez struck out against Cam Schulke to end the game back in Cotuit's 4-2 victory on June 29th as Jimenez fouled once again straight back into the fence behind home plate.
Yeah, it's a relatively new role for Nard. Has been a reliever his past 2 seasons at Duke. 1 game started and 51 total appearances, but no saves.
Nard peers over the glove above his eyes. The 1-2 pitch got him swinging. Gabriel Nard comes out of the bullpen. The first batter he faces, it's a strikeout of Antonio Jimenez. Now there's 1 out, and that brings up the first baseman, Nate Early.
Well, every single player in this lineup for Wareham has been able to reach base at least once from 1 through 9. So this is an order that is incredibly deep, has great depth, as Ryan Smythe has noted throughout their 14-win season so far. So the job is clearly not done. Just 1 out in this inning, but every single out in this Wareham lineup, a tough one.
First pitch to Nate Early. Taken beneath the knees. Count is 1-0. 13 hits today for Wareham as Early, high chopper, foul down the first base line past the Kettleers dugout on the first base side. But 13 hits, didn't have a hit in the first inning, had just 1 after the second, but 2 or more hits from the third on. Looking to spark a 1-out rally here in the ninth, trailing by 2 runs. Early rocket off the bat straight into the fence. So he finds himself down 1-2 against Nard. Early today, 1 for 3 with a strikeout and a walk. Also singled in his first at-bat. Nard, his 1-2 pitch, the righty, flared, and that'll dunk down into center field. Nate Early picks up his second hit of the ball game as it's a one-out knock. And now that brings up the tying run to the dish. It's Colby Turner.
Great day at the plate for Nate Early. 2 for 4, strikeout, ground out, and a walk to go along with a pair of singles. But as you brought up, Alex, Wareham with at least two hits in every single inning since the third frame. And we were talking about that during the break, just saying how this is a lineup that is able to string together hits better than anybody else in the CCBL. Of course, you mentioned their ability, or their, I guess, lack thereof, to blow away teams. They are less than the Kettleers in terms of scoring differential, so they win a lot of close baseball games, and a lot of it is timely hitting, and they're getting that right here in this ninth frame. Going to have to continue to do so with one gone and the runner just on first, of course, down 2 in this ball game.
So now it's Colby Turner digging in. Another pickoff move as pinch runner on for Wareham. Michael Light. So Nard keeping a close eye on him. If he comes around to score, would make it just a 7-6 ball game, as Turner is the tying run. He's batting. The first pitch to him, taken outside and low for ball 1. Turner 1 for 4. Pounce into a 4-3 inning-ending double play in his first at-bat, also with a flyout, swings away at the 1-0 pitch, lines it straight back into the fence. Flew out in his second at-bat, reached on a single back in the 6th, and also reached on a fielder's choice in the 7th, so his 5th plate appearance here. Klein holding the runner off first. Another pickoff move, but he's back in safely. Nord keeping a close eye on the pinch runner Light. 3 pickoff moves early on in this at-bat. Comes home with the 1-1 pitch. This one hit in the right center field gap. On the run is Charles Davalon, who makes the long running grab. For out number 2, returning back to first base is Michael Lipe, and now Cotuit just 1 out away from picking up the 7-5 victory.
Yeah, that one given a ride into the deep right center field alleyway. We've seen the wind blow a lot of baseballs deep into the outfield here, but of course just 1 home run. It was off the bat of Matt Klein earlier on in this game. But the yard will continue to hold these fly balls, and Charles Davalon tracks that one down, and Wareham is down to their final out.
It's the 9th man in this Wareham lineup, Johan Desero, swings through a pitch from Nard. 0-1 is the count. The 3rd time these two teams have squared off this summer. Wareham won the first one 4-2 here at Spillane Field, and Cotuit returned the favor with a 4-2 victory of their own at Lowell Park. A hard line drive hit right off the Wareham dugout in front of us. Ball actually ricochets all the way back to Gabriel Nard off the mound. The count is 0-2, 2 outs here after the bullet line drive from Johan Desero. Desero 2 for 4, also has a stolen base and has scored.
Johan, here we go, baby, battle up.
Light takes his lead off first. The 0-2 pitch from Nard. This one hit into center field. That'll dunk down in front of Davalon. He slips out in center field. Light takes the turnaround third. Davalon, his relay throw, cut off by Advincula. Light, the throw to the plate, high, kept in front by Grant J. Now they have Desero in a rundown. He slides in safely to third. Charles Davalon slips in center field. Michael Light comes in to score. Johan Desero gets himself in a rundown, but somehow manages to slide in headfirst safely at third. And after all that chaos, Wareham's down just 7-6.
Yeah, well, it all starts with the slip in center field, but Advincula with some hesitation on the relay throw to home. It was high to Grant J. No chance to get the runner there at home. And Jay, they had the runner Desero in a rundown. As you mentioned, he was caught in between second and the third base bags, but Grant J throwing it behind him back to Tyler Cerny at the second base bag. So Desero has no choice but to go forward towards third base, and he beats out that throw. And if you're Grant J there, I mean, there's a couple of different instances on that play that went wrong, but mainly got to throw it in front of the runner there.
So it's the 3rd hit of the day for Johan Desero. Now that brings up the leadoff hitter, Sam White. Desero stands just 90 feet away from tying this game. The first pitch to White, low in the dirt, blocked by Grant J. And that block by J critical here, with Desero standing just 90 feet away.
And that's why it's so critical right there that you throw it in front of the base runner to keep him on second base. Of course, he's still in scoring position, likely scores on a ball that's hit into the outfield, but it doesn't matter now. All they need really to tie up this ball game is a pitch that gets away from the pitcher or catcher. And now Mike Roberts making his way out to the Kettleers mound. The entire infield will gather around him. Gabriel Nard was tasked with getting the final 3 outs of this ball game. He's able to get 2 of them, and we will see if he will stay in this ball game. It did appear like there was somebody warming up behind the screened-in fence down there in the right field corner, but looks like Gabriel Nard will actually stay in this ball game, trying to get that final out with the tying run just 90 feet away.
3 wild pitches for the Kettleers today, 5 for Wareham. But a big block by Grant J keeps Johan Desero at third base. 1-0 is the count against Sam White. He's 0 for 5 today. Did reach once on an error as the 1-0 pitch rocketed foul just over the school to our right shoulder. So the count is even at 1-1. Nard has thrown 17 pitches, 13 strikes, looking for just one more out here to pick up the 7-6 comeback victory. Nard, glove set beneath his chest, comes home. The 1-1 pitch lined hard once again. So Wareham down to its final strike here. White represents the game-winning run. Desero the tying run. He stands on third. 1-2 count. The righty Nard, glove set at his chest, working against the lefty Sam White. Comes home with the 1-2 pitch. That's high and gloved outside. So the count is even at 2-2 here.
Love it, baby. Right on it. Here we go.
White hit a grand slam yesterday in Wareham's victory, part of a 5 RBI day. The 2-2 pitch taken outside as the count runs full here with 2 outs. Cotuit entered this inning leading 7-5. A wacky play in center field resulted in Michael Leip coming in to score. Johan Desero is on third base. Sam White hits this one into the left center field gap. Calling off the left fielder is Charles Davalon as he makes the third and final out, as Cotuit manages to hold on as they pull off the 7-6 comeback victory over the Wareham Gatemen.
Well, it was a bunch of compounded mistakes at the end there that nearly lost the Kettleers this ball game, but it was the timely hitting and the offensive explosion in the top of that 8th inning that really made the difference and held up to be the game-winning runs of this ball game. Of course, you don't think that those extra runs of insurance will have too much of an impact, but of course, they always find a way of working out, and the Kettleers getting just enough tonight to take down the best team in the CCBL.
This is just a massive comeback victory for Cotuit. Found themselves trailing 5-4 heading into the top of the 8th. They score 3 runs on just 1 hit, and it was a lot of small ball. Brandon Compton led off that inning with a walk. Grant J struck out, but Jaron Advincula, he singled. Max Ballou was hit by a pitch. Matt Klein evened the score at 5 with a sac fly. And then, of course, Max Ballou gets caught in a rundown between first and second. Jaron Advincula darts toward home, and that's when chaos ensued as Nate Early, his throw from first base, well up the third base line. That got away from the catcher, Sam White, and Max Ballou made it all the way to third. And then in the ensuing at-bat against Devin Taylor, it was a wild pitch that got away from the catcher, Sam White, and coming in easily to score was Max Ballou. That gave the Kettleers a 7-5 lead. And then, of course, in this 9th inning, Antonio Jimenez goes down against Gabriel Nard. He's the first out. Nate Early, he singles. Michael Leip comes in as the pinch runner. Then Johan Desero with 2 outs just hits a ball into center field, gets behind Charles Davalon, who slips. And that's when Leip turned on the afterburners there. He comes in to score. Johan Desero got caught in a rundown, slides in head first safely, but all that doesn't matter as Gabriel Nard works in and out of trouble and gives up a fly out to Sam White, and that's how things ended. But Joe, once again, another comeback victory late for the Kettleers. Saw it against Hyannis. Now see it against this top-ranked Wareham team.
Well, it's been a very inconsistent offense in these past few ball games. They've been silenced for seemingly 5-6 innings of a ball game, but the Kettleers tonight exploding for plenty of runs. And we saw last night they got 3 runs in total in that ball game. It was just 1 run at a time, and tonight they go 2 innings in the 3rd inning, 2 in the 5th, 3 in the 8th for offensive rallies that this team has really thrived upon in their now 13 games in this season that we are now over halfway done, which is crazy to say, but for the Kettleers to take down the Gatemen for the second time this season is massive, to gain some traction on them, to climb their way further up in the West Division rankings. Of course, they are still not up to the same par that Wareham is at yet, but for Cotuit to take another step in the right direction tonight, to not compound one loss into another. I know we saw a lot of mistakes in tonight's ball game. There are clearly some areas that need to be cleaned up, but definitely good to see that this offense isn't going to be silenced throughout an entire 9 innings of this ball game, and they're not going to go away. I think you see a lot of similarities between these two rosters, and it should be a very fun and exciting season series throughout the rest of this 2024 summer.
And you mentioned the offense for the Kettleers, Joe. They really struggled today with runners in scoring position, just 2 for 11. They left 8 guys on base, but to come back, and even when you're struggling driving runners in when they have great opportunities, of course, back in the top of the second, they loaded the bases, didn't score any runs with no outs. But what does it say about this offense that even when guys are in good positions to score and they somehow don't bring them in, they still manage to put up 7 runs on 8 hits?
Well, I think it's a lot of small ball as we saw today, but it's also guys who are maybe not having the great days of the plate who are still able to make a difference, taking advantage of mistakes. And a guy like Max Ballou is the perfect example. Started the day 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts and then a sacrifice bunt to get a runner in scoring position, was able to reach base his next time up in a big moment. So just to continue to put in great at-bats, and that's something that Cotuit has done a lot this year, but to do it in timely moments where the team really needs it, that's where it really sticks out. And I think maybe we haven't seen that throughout this month of July, where guys have been maybe falling short in times where they needed some runs and late in the game. But to show that this offense has some grit, they have some feistiness to be able to work their way back into ball games against a team as daunting as Wareham, it's pretty incredible. And I think you got to be super excited as a Ketts fan and as a Kettleer moving forward throughout the rest of this season to know that you're playing not only great baseball, but fun and exciting games.
And taking a look at this Kettleer pitching staff, Isaac Lyon got the start today. He went 3 2/3, allowed 5 runs, 5 hits on 3 runs, 2 earned. And then the bullpen really came in and shut the door. Harrison Bodendorf, he went 2 1/3, allowed 4 hits, 1 run. It wasn't earned. Cam Schulke, he went 2 innings, gave up 4 hits, just 1 run. And then Gabriel Nard closed out this ball game. But on the flip side for this Wareham offense, we talked about the Kettleer struggles with runners in scoring position. Wareham was even worse. They hit just 3 for 17 and left 13 guys on base. And when looking back at games over the course of a summer when if you just hit a little bit better with runners in scoring position, maybe you could have added 2, 3, 4 more wins. This is one of those games for the Gatemen.
Oh, it definitely is. And I mean, that's going to happen for so many baseball teams. And for Wareham to just be given this is now their 6th loss of the season. It is 14-6-1 now. So for them to fall in this ball game, they did a lot of things right. And for most of this game, they were the better team. And I think that's the biggest thing that sticks out is that the Kettleers have won a lot of baseball games where maybe they've been outplayed for most of the game, but it's just those last few innings, those last few at-bats that, of course, are the big difference. And sometimes the game falls on them and it falls on the last couple plate appearances. And what happened in the first 8 innings doesn't really matter, but this is a Wareham team that you know is going to be fighting for the top spot in the West Division. There are a bunch of guys who are not draft eligible, not planning on leaving this summer, and it's a coach in Ryan Smythe who seemingly has the guys amped and ready to go to stay throughout this entire summer. And a guy who's in his 2nd year coaching in this league to be able to harness his guys like that, it just shows you that they have really strong leadership. But the Kettleers also with strong leadership, head coach Mike Roberts, who's talking things over with Adele Huffman right now post game. You can catch that on our YouTube channel, but also with great leadership and a lot of guys who want to be here, who want to play baseball and get better. And I think that's really the biggest key is when you have guys who are working towards the common goal, they want to get better, and also having great relationships off the field. It makes things that much easier, and everybody has benefited because of it.
And Joe, now one final question here. Cotuit, victors in 3 of their last 4 games. They're on the road against Hyannis tomorrow, a stretch of 3 consecutive road games. Hyannis picking up a walk-off victory against Falmouth. They beat them 4-3 tonight, and we saw these two teams really go pitch for pitch, strike for strike the last time they played. How important is it for the Kettleers to continue this momentum into tomorrow?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, it was pitch for pitch. It seemed like a game that any little play in the field or any base hit could really change the outcome of the game, and I think that's really what happened once you got to the end of it. It came down to great bullpen pitching, mainly Cam Schulke at the end, those 2 shutout innings, and then of course the timely hitting. But the timely hitting came from getting base runners on early on in the inning, and that comes from getting ahead in counts, putting the ball in play, and that's really what the Kettleers need to do tomorrow against a good defensive team in the Harbor Hawks, a pitching squad that maybe doesn't meet the mark that Wareham does like we saw tonight. So to jump on them early, to get the offense going early on in the game and not have to rely on a late inning comeback would definitely be ideal. But of course, the start and the first 3 innings, as we pointed out, being key in a lot of games this season, definitely going to be massive in getting a win tomorrow in Hyannis.
Should be an exciting game tomorrow against the Harbor Hawks, but that'll do it here from Spillane Field. For my broadcast partner, Joe Pratt, for our sideline reporter, Adele Huffman, for our production crew, Cam Christie and Jimmy Shantulis, I'm Alex Rocco. Thank you so much for spending part of your Wednesday evening with us. Cotuit improves to 13-8 on the year as they capture the 7-6 comeback victory over the Wareham Gatemen. We'll talk to you tomorrow from Hyannis. Have a great rest of your night.